capitalise on.
Surprised to see Shaylee subbed out of the game so early. He's Henshall for three.
I mean, it's got to be someone, and you got to sacrifice some.
Marcus Lee knocks that one away, and the Wildcats can reset. Henshall gets his look offensively. 18th first time since the score was 3-2. And he hit the front at the right time. Henshall on the move. Tough finish from the youngster.
And I reckon sometimes the offense is your best defense. Push. Oh, that's a push-off. It looked like from Dellavedova.
No foul called. He's the 20-year-old. The back-to-back buckets.
And both of them on Chris Golding.
It's that sort of game. Henshall with a couple of big moments late in that second quarter. Ran into a brick wall in the form of Rob Lock. Webster back out for Henshall. Got rid of Dellavedova and drains the three.
This is that small ball lineup.
Jack White in the third quarter with another big knockdown. Henshall with the last look. It's Melbourne.
For intensity for both these teams at the pace at which they're playing.
Henshall left open. Has a look and jumps out. Dellavedova throws a wild one away there. Plays for a foul that wasn't forthcoming.
Okay, they're going to Rob Lowe. Ooh, dodged the bullet. Then he missed an easy one.
Yeah. Melbourne by 5. Dellavedova falls over. Big play from Ty Webster. Henshall scores. 100 in Game 3 of the playoff series. An extraordinary exhibition of this extraordinary league. Henshall to the rack.
Chris Golding with potentially a match-saving block.
Golding went all the...
Got out there. Would you like Jack White back out there?
It might help, but I think he's doing it because it's games. It's this small ball that the Perth Wildcats are playing. Oh, that could have been a goaltend. A hint of a goaltend not called.
For Chris Golding, so it covered the three-point line, but couldn't stop him through the middle of the key.
Yeah, you'd be livid. Basic rule of thumb is if you're guarding out of bounds, you don't give up a pass to the ring. But on the back of that...
Getting bigger early in this game. Henshall to the top of the key. Once again, it won't drop.
From Melbourne United, JR wanted them to reattach and anticipate the screens. Stop acting surprised when they're setting down screens for Chris Golding.
Good on Natalie. Well, they didn't get a stop to start this one, but
Damo, they've got to figure out a way to get Doolittle involved offensively.
Henshall in the corner. Doesn't go.
I'll be getting Doolittle involved in the 4 to 5 weeks. But he is, you're right, he's an X-factor for this team if they're going to have some success tonight.
In the backs in, then feeds it out towards Henshall. Once again, the baskets don't go for the Wildcats. He passes inside. Lee will lose it. Henshall against 2. Does he go all the way? He does, but misses the baskets.
The Red Army are just dying for a reason.
Henshall. Windler. Pressure comes on him. Little crossover. Hands it to Henshall. That one will miss.
Henshall's had good looks.
Golding deep on that three.
We saw what they did. There's a back kick, and that's what led to the switch with getting Doolittle off White.
Henshall unsuccessful on his first.
He's just locked in. You see him at the top of your screen on the three-point line. Now, normally there you're hedging more towards the split line, but he is just all in, as you have to be, on Bryce Cotton. But pretty quickly to give him some time on the floor where he doesn't have to deal with Shaylee.
Sloppy inbound, and Perth got away with it. Ben Henshall, and one.
Ooh, the youngster. You warn us like it's a bill. Just have to go straight to that. A pre-warning really.
Probably been a couple of times this season. You should have got one at one point. Henshall pulls the trigger. Nice work by Lee. Three ball is no good. Gary Pinder in his last 3 games averaged 21 points and 11 rebounds. He's in a good frame of mind. Won their last 5 on the road, the Wildcats. But this is a big challenge that they're faced with right now. Tough finish from Henshall.
Really good use of the body. Went.
What the hell are you doing sitting over there?
Big offensive rebound by Doolittle. Henshall, catch and shoot.
That team's not only a 4-point game.
22 points for Bryce. He turns facilitator, as does Pinder. Ben Henshall with a big moment in game one. His last knockdown is his 10th made three of the night. He's only the third person in finals history to knock down 10 in a game. Bryce Cotton and John Riley are the others.
From Windler. They got all the energy at the moment. He takes on Hunter. Couldn't make it go. He'll get the rebound. Pinder charging through. Held himself in the air. As the pass inside will be fed to Doolittle. He's under pressure though. Good defence from the bigs. And points will drop. Henshall throwed the foul. The old little bit of pressure on the refs. Your old coach Trevor Gleeson was the master of that. He'd work over the media during the week. Big blitz from the Perth Wildcats. Henshall up against Hurd. Couldn't make it go. And then Sobey cocked one in the eye. The face there for Wieskamp. Here's Henshall. He just bombs away. It was a bit of a rush shot. Trying to get himself in a... Here's Henshall. Having to go to fade away. It's short. He'll get his rebound back again. Then it was cut off by Hurd. Was that score? The score will change there on your screen. So back to 6 points the margin. Henshall, we're right behind it. And he drops it. Time to go. Cotton. Doolittle. Henshall for three. A swisher. Run from the Cats. Here's Windler. Henshall again. Pinder tried to tap it in from the other side of the ring. Just feel like he doesn't care. Well, he's going to come here and he's going to enjoy himself. We enjoy watching him play as Ben Henshall tries to shoot a little jumper. Doesn't go. Good attack. Pressing up. Putting the pressure on. And Adelaide gets some quick points. Henshall, though, blocked by Isaac Humphries at the other ends. Good little passage here. Brown Davis just couldn't finish the play. Pinder did pretty well just to slow him down. Now it's to Ben Henshall. He just threw it up very quickly. Out of the hands. He'll be trapped by Harold. Now he's under all sorts of pressure and he'll be turned over. They did that well on that occasion. Ben 10 with it. Takes it to the rack. Davis was standing. It'll be called. The one doesn't go. Windler, superb. Henshall looks over towards Cotton again. Back to Henshall. Benny 10. Shorts. Look at Bryce again.
Showing his strength there.
Well, that's what you want from Cam Oliver. Firstly, great defense. That's exactly what he wants. Then he ran the floor hard, and there goes Ben Henshall again, going at Jalen Adams, and one.
And we're seeing the...
Pepper confronts the hand of Xavier Cooks. They swing it around the arc for Henshall. His second field goal attempt is a three-point miss, and now
you may have to give up a layup so you don't get that fourth. And there it is, that box out or whatever it may come from. And his man now shoots a three, but he misses.
Offensive rebound for points of the game. 8 points the margin. 3 minutes into the second quarter. This team's meeting for the third time this season, and Ben Henshall is in a mood. This Gold Coast. The Gold Coast Com Games. Henshall pulls up, knocks down another two.
Well, he's attacking Adams, and I don't know how long Brian Gorge...
Cotton can't finish, and the ball comes down with Cam Oliver, who throws it straight to Windler. He was looking for Ball Qual. In the meantime, the Wildcats are missing.
Game, Cooks has 6, but outside of those two gentlemen, the rebounding has been slim.
Henshall pulls up, can't knock it down.
I love that. He didn't even say much, but it was just the fact that's Jesse. I don't Say a lot, but I'll do it out in the court. Great work, and I love the Harvey Norman.
Henshall, the man who really got Perth going this afternoon.
Now the Wildcats are headed for another top 4 finish.
Henshall. And rebound goes to Wagstaff.
The offensive boards by the Wildcats have just been too much to eat away at this margin.
Henshall, let's rip with a 3. The rebound comes for Cooks,
who is this by a lot, because the percentages could come in, because Perth could drop next week, Kings could beat Illawarra. These teams are tied, and then they've got to come down to percentages.
Wildcats in this game. Sean Bruce narrows the margin. Who knows how important that bucket will be in the wash-up, but Ben Henshall got them going. He can't ice it, but it's the game.
And that's what I love. Maybe 8 weeks ago, he might have shot that Sophie, but he is looking for his big man on the roll. It's up. Misses the shots.
That one rattled around from Benny Henshall underneath. Just couldn't get it to go. Doolittle picks up the crumbs on the break. Henshall stops, props, sends it all the way. Still winning it. Still in it. The Phoenix since Christmas, 105 points per game. The best in the competition since the Christmas break as Henshall is a little firm on that shot. Maxwell again all over Bryce. Into the corner it goes. Henshall will send a little jumper on its way for another 2. So lots of points. Goodbye, Brisbane. Surprised me enough that I nearly stuffed it up on that occasion, but it also does mean that the winner of this game will get himself guaranteed in the top 5. Then hopefully... Oh, and once again, Hunter misses a dunk and gets it stripped out of his hands. Henshall on the break with plenty of speed, gets the 2.
Well, absolute coach killers every game he plays this year. He's been huge these last games.
As he said, credit to him into the corner. Henshall never knocks back a 3-point attempt. Doolittle
hitting these quarters now, and that really pushes that margin out a little bit.
Henshall also down the other end. The youngsters in amongst the action. This is good. Munza will look after him on this occasion. Hunter puts some pressure on. Henshall for 3. Doesn't go well done to Amanza. 6 points to margin. On the break now, Doolittle wants some help. Looks outside. Windler. Henshall. The pressure immense from Pinder. Referee's letting it go. Pinder out wide he goes. Henshall. Can't make it go. It'll be a Wildcats ball.
So you just mentioned the starting 5, but their whole bench are exceptional players as well. So they'll be up to the occasion based on who they're playing, not based on ladder position.
Henshall scores the 2. Intriguing also as we have a look. So who can handle the pressure and the angst in the crowd as Henshall receives it from around the back of Wagstaff. He does his rebounding Wags.
Well, very influential, can be the reason why you do or don't win games or do or don't win championships. Just love giving you a hard time, Locke.
Henshall, step back, doesn't go. Hell of it over. The pass was to Bryce, but it ended up in the hands of Doolittle. That's how hot he is. Now to the post he goes. Henshall from a long way out. That one won't go. Good rebound from Golding. Catch, shoot. Just doesn't go. A bit of holding on there. John really wanted the foul, but Henshall didn't need it because he was in. He's illy off balance. Couldn't make it go, so it's 5 against 3. Henshall back to back. Big bombs from 2 points for him. Slides his way through the key.
It's a cheeky little Spain action from Melbourne United.
Henshall nearly finished a magnificent move. Golding like that. Less than a minute into the 3rd term. And they've got Perth on the ropes. And the Wildcats just shooting from outside 3. Here goes Delhi.
The right play. They'll go back to him time and time again because they'll back in his leadership and his ability with the ball to make the right read.
Comes off the hands of the Perth Wildcats, and another tip-in doesn't go. Makes it 6 points, Chris Golding. Perth streak will be over and Melbourne will continue to be the kings of the jungle in the West. How unusual. Quera getting the start. Here's Windler to Henshall. Has a very smooth stroke. That one had the hand in the face though. A little bit of a challenge. Look at the speed of this man, Davis.
Up full court, they threw a couple of trucks at them. I don't think they handled it all too well, but at this tempo, Adelaide can certainly stick with the Cats.
Once again, Humphries does a good job.
For the holiday period too.
Bit of spare time.
Yeah.
And this is for Martin. This is an intriguing game at the moment. Henshall straight back down the other end. Ben 10 with a bomb. Tough one. Cotton to Almanza. Henshall turning and shooting for another three. So here we go, 5 points. Henshall got Davis in his face. Little step back from Ben. Oh, dear me! Well, it's a couple of fouls in a row. He'll make his way off the court. Only 3 fouls still for Kendrick Davis, which is good news as Henshall fires away from long range once again. Cats have slowed a fair bit. Henshall sees an opening and takes it to the rack for 2.
Up to the baseline.
Beautiful stuff. Thanks, Scotty. 90 plays 88.
Exactly what we said.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Henshall. He's come to play in this second half as well, scoring threes.
You carry a heavy burden in this second half. See if they can just slowly edge themselves back into the contest as Henshall will start the second half with a nice bucket.
To see how Brisbane comes out. Quiet, soft-spoken, like talked a lot of smack, more banter. But he was my Ruby. When I was getting argy-bargy, he was the one calming me down. I did not pick him to be like this, but it's working. Cotton, a few of the past seasons, you want to make sure that he's cherry ripe for that finals push.
His 9th 30-point game this season, Bryce Cotton, against the youngster. Gets it back. Still got plenty of energy, and look at that, showtime! Henshall couldn't finish the highlight.
He had a wide-open Dylan Windler. Left that 3 ball short. Offensive rebound by Aquera. Now Windler baseline explores. Henshall checks the feet.
Well, they've had...
Shout out to you, Dwayne Russell, wherever you are.
Half of the world doesn't know what you're talking about. Petition.
Another
with the rebound.
Really quick shot. That's surprising.
He's got a lot of electricity in his body.
For them at both ends of the floor. Henshall glides to the basket.
Yeah.
Tough finish.
Looks in this quarter, hasn't been able to capitalize as much as he would have liked.
Denied. Nice set from Kristovic. Still 5 on the clock for the Wildcats.
Against Portland Trailblazers, he said, bugger it, I'm just going to try and shoot left-handed the entire game.
But when we did our predictions, Andrew, you and I came up with the same number as another bucket in the paint. We came up with 1-8.
He's down. They're playing 4 on 5.
Took one in the sternum, Drew.
He had a wide-open Dylan Windler. Left that 3 ball short. Offensive rebound by Aquera. Now Windler baseline explores. Henshall checks the feet.
Well, they've had...
Shout out to you, Dwayne Russell, wherever you are.
Half of the world doesn't know what you're talking about.
Another
with the rebound.
Really quick shot. That's surprising.
He's got a lot of electricity in his body, Ben Henshall.
For them at both ends of the floor. Henshall glides to the basket.
Yeah.
Tough finish.
Looks in this quarter, hasn't been able to capitalize as much as he would have liked.
Henshall denied. Nice set from Kristovic. Still 5 on the clock for the Wildcats.
Against Portland Trailblazers, he said, bugger it, I'm just going to try and shoot left-handed the entire game.
But when we did our predictions, Andrew, you and I came up with the same number as another bucket in the paint. We came up with 118 as being the...
He's down. They're playing 4 on 5.
Took one in the sternum, Drew.
Twice. You expose yourself to the penetration as well, just like that.
Outside, Luke comes here for Henshall, and he comes up with the goods. First 3 of the game.
The style guys, and I think this suits this Breakers team a lot better without PJC in the lineup. He's a dynamic player. He wants to play up and down and get going, but with him out, the Breakers are almost forced into this style, and it certainly suits.
The help D and dislodged the ball away from Taco Fall. Thought about pulling the trigger quickly. Hiram Harris, his Henshall has been good from deep. So good he stepped beyond the line again rather than go forward, but can't connect. More out of him.
Only his second shot. I was wondering when he was going to look at that high post, and that zone is wide open.
Taco Fall on there. Henshall, contact, no whistle.
Tight, or was that a...
There was a little hook. Didn't need to. Had the advantage, didn't need to hook.
Shot comes up and knocking it down. Big play there coming.
I think Lane can definitely deliver a lot more for them. He started the season off exceptionally well, you remember, at Hoops Fest, but that's a long time ago. They need some other guys to be able to be consistent scorers.
Now Munster with the O-board kept it alive. Henshall gets another look and makes the adjustment. 2 from deep, the Wildcats. Henshall resets, shot clock rolls to single numbers. Todd Withers, former Adelaide player, and Gunnar Pinder, the former 36er, about to check in. We're doing a great job. Grabs the O-board. Flagstaff back to Cotton, double team. They work the ball sweetly. Withers, Henshall outside, high arc on the shot, wouldn't work. Terrell Martin with it. 3/4 court heave on the...
About Mike Wells, or are you going to be sitting?
So they've used 11 players already, Adelaide. Here's Pinder, has support from Henshall. Nice. Reverse finish, but it wouldn't work off the glass. Kept alive by Windler. So Cotton, hands over. This is Henshall. Working against Nick Marshall, spinning to the right hand. Tough shot, but he gets it done. So 5 in the game now for Henshall. That's his first score since quarter. A good look at it, but can't convert. A ring rust, perhaps. As Henshall puts it on the deck once more and goes to work and comes up with a good finish. And Ben Henshall was excellent.
And the fans, well, they need the energy from them, but they need the players to lift, to give them some energy.
Yep, 9-4. 9-5 is the crowd tonight.
Unfortunately, turnover, but I do like the offensive sets.
Aguera finds Windler. Here's Henshall. Thought about the shot, wants a better look, and gets it, sending the crowd back to their seats.
That's what happens here.
Henshall pulls up in the face of Tyler Harvey and knocks it down.
And to your point,
by 15. They lost the first quarter 37-28. The second 26-20. Henshall tried to get them going early in the second half, and they keep the ball. Sam Froling fresh from a 20-point, 11-rebound game against Melbourne. Averaging nearly 15 points per game, about 7 rebounds per outing. There's Pinder, the putback. Hickey, but gets it straight back. Elijah Pepper, head down, working baseline. A little wild from the Wildcats, and it finishes in the hands of Tyler Harvey.
Straight up, you've got to do things a little different, change things up.
Looks like a kind of back-to-the-wall challenge that Adam Ford really relished as well. Henshall with a smooth move across the lane. He's the type of coach that, you know...
Sure, they pay attention to the clock and slow them down. Perth getting some easy looks offensively very quickly. Now, guys, I have a question for you. I spoke to Adam Ford, and he said he recruited...
Before, he's got to cut it a little bit low now.
Certainly can. 7-point ball game. Henshall leaning in, no good. Edwards is away to the races. Look. Henshall can't carve his way through that tight end's defense. Pinder recycles it.
3 for 3 from deep. Offensive package is expanded.
21 for Taron. Nice move from Ben Henshall.
Took minutes to start this one for Jesse Wagstaff as Keanu Pinder's just checked in for him.
Henshall is wide open, and for the first time tonight, Perth
for shooting in 3 minutes.
Absolutely, he's coming out to let you know what you missed. Remember, he is #2 in the league in scoring, so.
Henshall knocks down the first three for the Wildcats. Taman Centre, second quarter gets underway. Perth with a possession arrow down 3. Adelaide led by as many as 8 in the opening quarter. Wildcats were able to get on level terms on a couple of occasions without getting their noses in
those screening actions.
Henshall taking on Rasmussen, likes his chances. Got him off balance, and Humphries with a help D swats it away. After the rebound.
And look, if you're Adelaide, that's what you want.
Oh, Henshall stole it from Rasmussen. Cotton peels off to the other wing. Henshall goes solo, couldn't get it done.
6 in that first quarter.
Henshall against Martin, down to the baseline. Tough shot. Oh, he's good enough to make it, though. 7 in the game now for Henshall with those players, and he is still a man to be reckoned with. Shooting it at 45% from deep as well. As we get underway here in the final, Munzer got the O board there and was famous. Adds to his talent. Cotton back hard the other way against Humphries and Kadee. They leave Henshall alone top of the key. He knocks down the triple, a 1-point game. Well, check it out. Marshall off the mark. Loose ball comes to Cotton behind the back. Mahan gets back quickly. He shares it across. Henshall elevates. He knocks down another 3, and Perth has taken the lead.
That's a pretty shot, isn't it?
Big twirl, and now Henshall looks for Cotton. Couldn't find a passing lane, and now Withers gives it back to Henshall. He's off the mark. Withers. Wildcats had their way with Adelaide, winning 4 of their last 5 here, despite having the worst road record in the franchise since 2017. They are looking strong at the moment. They lead by. This has been impressive from the Wildcats. 5. And they're going to let Henshall go to work. Overcooked it, can't convert, and that is all. And the Perth Wildcats.
A thumbs up saying, I'm okay. I'll stay out of trouble now. Henshall gets the hand off and sends it a long way, but it won't drop. Wildcats coming into this game injury.
Yeah, not great news. It does seem like it is a groin injury. He hasn't come out of the locker room, and the information we're getting is he's done for the night, so we won't see him again. The last point I'd like to make is Bryce had 13. 10 of those will use that
Wingspan of his, and then offensively he's being super aggressive, but take nothing away from Bryce in that pass in the last possession. That is a tough one to make, as we see a lucky tip in there by Elijah Pepper.
Bryce, freedom, top of the key, off the glass it goes. Windler will haul in the boards to Wagstaff. Henshall. That is a nice stroke from Benny Henshall. Sort of stuff he does. That one a little short. Wagstaff boxing out nicely. Henshall down the other end. He's going for back-to-back threes. Benny boy! On a steal from Windler. He'll keep it in to our Munzer. Cotton's out wide. Oh, Benny Henshall! Oh, little kick to himself. That was beautiful from Wani. He sat on the outside as Henshall starting to feel a little bit of confidence. He's racking up the points in this. Has all the answers.
And that's a great pick-up, Lockie. They have that timeout. They relax Henshall for another 3 and misses. They have the timeout, relax, and get back to Illawarra from the field.
A little bit of balancing happening on for Windler. Here's Henshall, puts it to the floor, does really well. He had 2 come out in, and he found the path to the butt short. Wagstaff with another rebound. Henshall looks out wide, but now with Harvey on him, he'll decide to take it inside. Jump shot, little shorts. Ooh.
Not many people in the world that by the age of 17 can say I was playing well against Nicaragua as well. Ben Henshall pulls up.
Well, that's another young man.
So let me tell you something. I've had plenty of people yell at me.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Who, Drewy? Come on, man. Was it?
You've been there. I know.
No PJC on the floor as well, so Mitch McCarron, the Arnold Mansa, Lopez, Bairstow, Jackson, Cartwright, Anticevich and Davison for the Breakers. Cotton inside. Outside to Henshall from way downtown. Kind of range doesn't Parker Jackson-Cartwright has 28. It is an all-star shootout at RAC Arena. 2 more coming for Perth. Ben Henshall will go to the line to make it a third.
Line and out of bounds, a foul. You've got to make someone else from the Breakers beat you, because you mentioned that 45-point game that Bryce Cotton had in a grand final versus Illawarra Hawks. What people tend to forget is at the other end, Rodney Clark for the highest shooter
in the modern 40-minute era with 55. Almanza inside. He fights for it on the floor. Outside to Henshall. No good for Ben Henshall. So Cotton's can this man create some magic late in the piece? He tosses it away, and it opens the door for Ben Henshall, who gets blocked by the rim. Missed 4 shots all night.
That's not too shabby, is it?
It's extraordinary. Cotton has 57. Henshall with 2 more. 118 for the Wildcats.
Bateman, his first attack on the basket. Now Doolittle out and running. Henshall, plenty of time, sets himself and knocks it down. And we'll get down. Henshall thought about the reverse, decided to kick it out to Harris. A couple of Harrises on the floor. And here's Henshall. And another one that might just have some confidence up.
Playing off the ball, I should say, letting them guys keep their confidence up.
They went 3 and 2 without Bryce Cotton. There's Henshall again. Fires away. Let's get back to courtside, Damo.
Yeah, credit to Brisbane Bullets. They made a little mini run to start the quarter as we see Wildcats drop a 3. But I want to talk about the speed of this game. Ball.
And a turnover opens the door for the Wildcats. 4 on 2. Pick your poison, Henshall. Not even close.
I wonder if they're
zone. Just to change it up, as we heard Schuler. Harris faked out everybody. And then in the end finds Henshall wide open.
Last 10 minutes.
79 points. The lowest that the Brisbane Bullets have scored so far this season.
And depending on how this quarter finishes will determine how medieval I get in training the next session.
even just for team morale, you need to try and finish the game on the note of what your identity
get them this upcoming summer's FIBA Asia Cup. And that three-point shot front rim, no good, as Thailand this time are able to come up. The crowd are going wild here in Bangkok as they like the way their team has come out here tonight. And that floater off the mark. And this time, just kind of nice finish there and a nice start by Shnatip Yakrawan, excuse me. There's another offensive rebound, really the advantage of a strip. And another turnover and another opportunity to score for Australia. And that shot wide open. Ben Henshall kicks it up. Unselfish movement and ball movement here. And that's a fancy turnaround shot by Ben Henshall. As that bat, they found their rhythm, and it is paying off for the Boomers. As well, taking their time and scoring is what they have been doing. And what's going to be even crazier is the games on next Sunday, excuse me, for these two teams. So obviously Group A action, Korea and Australia. If somehow gets the shot off on time, no good. Offensive rebound and a nice little floater is Ben Henshall in the basket.
And Henshall pushes the base for the Wildcats. Good defense by Bateman down low. One of them did, and the Wildcats come away with it. Henshall has been aggressive through the paint. Flips that one up, it's no good, and Harrison will tear it away. Can't connect from mid-range.
Bad offense. Not enough ball movement. Ball goes around, dribbles, Ben Henshall, and he'll drop that down. That's just coming from poor offense, and yes, he's called a time.
Anniversary day.
Almanza from the corner. Can't get it to fall. Henshall will keep it alive and get the two.
There's that boxing out you mentioned in the first quarter.
first half.
Wildcats head coach. Henshall, the quick trigger. No good, and Zakarski will...
No, is the simple answer.
Wildcats certainly with work to do. Henshall on the outside, steps back. Cashes it.
You know, JR's spoken about...
He can't get the hook shot to fall. The Wildcats survive. Henshall pulls up. Can't go 2 for 2 in as many attempts. Right into game to get his offensive flow going. Windler dumps it off. Almanza will keep it alive. Finds Henshall on the outside. That's no good. A much-needed bucket for the Wildcats goes begging. Can't get it to fall. And the Wildcats will take it the other way. Henshall fades out. Harrison comes up with it. Bateman has the...
Off to a really impressive start. The fans continue to stand. They stand until the home team scores. Here's Henshall. That one will just rattle in. That'll ease the tension inside the building just a touch. It's not coming as the defensive team, and they're out to an 11-point margin. Here's Ben Henshall deciding to go himself. Nice little floater for 2. Getting himself in amongst the action.
Has been a foul? Or do you think just everyone does it? Because as a player, I also don't think I've ever fouled a day in my life, right?
Here's Henshall with the confidence. The shot's not as good, though. On the break, it's glove up. Will he settle?
Digits being Windler, Doolittle, and of course Bryce Cotton. So you're spot on. They're not relying on just one guy. So Bryce at times can just sit back, relax, and watch the other guys who are feeling it in that moment go and do their thing.
Oh, that one didn't go again. They've been so unlucky on a few of those shots. Here's Henshall, air, all over him. Henshall's left hand misses. A chance here. Well, misses on that occasion.
Windler's rolled his ankle. He's just waiting for a substitution. The Wildcats do have a doubleheader this weekend. I think JR will be getting him off the court as quickly as possible and see.
That is, White can't finish off his good work. Henshall flies up the floor, little mid-ranger, and Perth are back in front.
Yeah, nice. Said, I think the Wildcats, they've been trying to push the tempo themselves, but just get into a little system, get into a half-court game, try and break this momentum, or just go ahead and have a no-pass offense.
The Gladiator has got John Cain Coliseum rocking.
Henshall at the other end wants to get involved. But made threes for Chris Golding. This is extraordinary.
Oh, it is. How many in the quarter, Jackie boy? There's 5 in the quarter.
I'm running out of fingers.
5 in the quarter already.
Get a score at this end after a stop. And throw it back at Melbourne United. Henshall from deep. Got it! Big time knockdown from Ben Henshall.
Performance like that from CG. Get on your feet, Melbourne United fans. Because your boy just put on a show.
Late bucket for Henshall.
Score for those who were tuning into Melbourne and Brisbane, 120 to 103 was the final score. United getting the job done as that shot will go in from a long way deep as well. 8. Aggressively attacking it was Henshall. Came to the hands of Webster on the break. Here's Henshall from 3. Didn't go. Just couldn't haul it in. Here's Henshall up the other end. It's 2014. Henshall now with a chance. Top of the key. Swish.
Good sign for them.
The 5 offensive rebounders to the jack jumpers for the Wildcats. 1.
Nice little thing for Henshall. 2. He had more time then.
2.
To do, Dylan. Shout out to James McQueen, my under-12s coach. Follow your shot, Lock. I said, well, put me on at some stage, James. That'll be handy. 7, the Cats unable to get on the scoreboard in this second term. Henshall keen to change that. Very quick off the one step and straight inside the key. It's interesting.
You've got to play minutes if he wants to build on this.
Yeah, you want to get into 500. Henshall can't make that one go. Here's Doolittle to Henshall. Hinder says, come my way for the screen. Henshall very aggressive. Wanted the foul. Wasn't called. He's back to Henshall. Might have to go himself here. Tarangi. One-on-one basketball. Off balance. Nearly made the basket. Didn't need to tap it away in the end because...
I guess that's something about the Jackies is they always hang around. They never quit.
Oh, Henshall put a little bit of spice on that one to make it go.
They're getting whatever they want right now.
Well, they are. And a lot of it's because they're knocking down the three ball. 5 of 7. Henshall just pulling up the wild three.
Hustle from 6.
And I love the simplicity of what he does, Jack. When he has the opportunity to let it fly from the three, he does so. And he's great from inside the paint. That's an early shot there from the Wildcats. But Andrew, I know you love his style of play.
I know, he's a beauty. Like I said, he's a keeper. And he plays with good basketball IQ. Very skilled. Henshall just powering his way to the basket, but...
Effort to close the gap this quarter.
And that makes sense. If they can tighten up defensively, and Henshall is turning this into his own personal shoot-around.
Henshall cross-court for Pepper. Big rebound by Withers. Henshall seems a little hesitant this afternoon, but he shouldn't be, because he was white hot on Friday night.
On the shot, I think he might have just a little too much.
Henshall to finish off the quarter. He can't score. For 3.
And again, Sobey puts his head into the gap, creates a little bit of space. Henshall. Wow.
At it as well. 4.6 now. Henshall from a long way out.
Could have taken another. The NBA scouts are keeping a close eye on him.
Henshall had 26 on Friday night. He's been a little quieter today, but here's a reminder. Henshall with a last look for Perth. Finishes off in style.
Get an easy deuce to start the game.
You mentioned how clinical they are at the offensive end. Here's an example. Henshall tees off. Elijah Pepper. Guarantee you it looked nothing like that on the whiteboard. Henshall. Not 2 feet in the paint. Little roller goes.
Like he said
early. The Hawks 6 wins and just 2 losses in this NBL 25 season so far. Henshall's aggressive early on.
Tell you what, right now he looks like option 1A.
And so surgical this season with his scoring. He's shooting 47% from downtown, but whenever he gets a shot off, it just looks good as Penny.
I told you.
Back to 6 points the difference. Still 4 minutes remaining in the opening turn. What? They cannot miss.
Ben Henshall.
Bang time the last one. He's Hickey crashing the offensive glass.
Oh, pull up 3 ball.
Was stolen by Henshall.
Oh!
They've missed 3, so is that a slump? Doolittle feeds him down low. Swings back up to Henshall. That one jumps out. Pepper with the uncontested rebound.
Sam Dodson.
But he took it, he ran with it, and it's well deserved that 3-year extension, albeit he probably signed it a little earlier. Yeah. He's been playing.
Henshall from deep. There's another. 13 points for down to 10. Spacing all wrong here for the Wildcats. To Henshall in the low block. Foley takes.
Notice here, Todd's actually playing the 4, so he's going to stretch out the floor completely. Tatum's telling him to stay far, so they spread out the key.
Ben Henshall.
So balanced. Look like he's off balance.
Henshall in the mid-range this time. 21 first half points for Ben.
Throwing too often.
Everything at the moment going through Henshall. That time.
Imagine being a DP.
The year so far. He's doing a job in the third quarter. 5.9 seconds left. Henshall. Pete! basket you shall receive. Or won all 3 games last season against Perth by margins of 16, 18 and 18. You have to do this one the hard way tonight. Will Hickey was the spark.
On with us, a lot of body contact there. And the basket won't go. Henshall, quick to move into the front court, goes for the 3. It was a little flat though. And Galloway will take the boards. Here's Pinder from outside. He really loves a 3-pointer. Windler does really well to keep it alive. Henshall, aggressive. That one a little short. Cam Oliver underneath the basket. And I don't think Perth has been the bottom of the ladder at the end of a season since 1984.
Yeah.
And that was when there was 2 divisions. Henshall. Ball. Doolittle comes up with it. 4 points that margin. Oh, Henshall. Probably need a little more passing about it.
Now go think about what you've done.
He got a little high five from John Riley, so that basket doesn't go! Keanu Pinder! That's good basketball. A lot of fun in the NBL this season. So much talent. As Henshall is one of them. The tap was good though from Cooks. Bit of a final term as well. Can Sydney respond though? 5 points is the margin, 65-60. As Henshall is really aggressive, and Keanu decides that, not surprisingly, stepping up to the challenge. Hopefully Adams will be back very soon as Ben Henshall with the step back. Here's our Munz's hustle. That was good. Surge. Doolittle says, give it to me. Pinder says, you go. The pass to Henshall. That one way off targets and came off the boots.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, that's it. I might shoot one here because Henshall steps around. Good pressure on that occasion from Cooks. Diving and drawing the foul. That was great.
I hate to think what that would feel like if it's broke.
Windler got his own rebound. Got it well off the rim. Here's Henshall checking into the game. Forcott follows up. New Zealand's been a happy hunting ground for him yet.
Spanish-speaking duel going.
Teenage sensation not out there tonight. Henshall drives and denied by Gillespie.
Hey, Freddie, I'm over here pumping to stand on the 3-point line. He presented himself, cut baseline, and Parker rewarded him.
Back to an 8-point lead. Henshall with room to fire.
We're going to see with Perth, we're going to see Todd Withers activated probably next game. Import injury replacement. He's already played 1 game.
Henshall, 4-point play coming up. Shot clock at 7. Henshall from the free throw line. It's good.
Wow, tough pull-up.
Now for New Zealand. Wagstaff no good. Offensive rebound. It's Perth another look at it. Henshall from the corner. Ben Henshall with a big one. The door is still ajar. Perth will need to be perfect from here. That'll help. Henshall for 2.
Couldn't finish. Last opportunity here for the Wildcats. Can they extend their 6-point lead? Henshall, the youngster, with an air ball. But a great start for the Perth Wildcats.
Henshall looks to push the pace again. And cans that one.
Tough shot. He's lucky he hit that. Clint Steindel's shot, but when you are struggling to put it in the ocean right now, you need to get a set to either get a post up next to the rim or a layup as Ben Henshall tries with a Euro. And if I'm probably speaking on behalf of everyone, let's just start this set defense on Crawford. Been great. Bob Withers.
Henshall. A little bit short.
Tired leg up and got a good shot.
Doolittle drops it off to Henshall. Can't finish. Gilt edge chance. Margin back to 7. Minute and a half remaining. Henshall.
No shot.
Foul underneath. Doolittle, Henshall, Cotton, Hiram, Harris, Elijah Pepper is the 5 for the Wildcats. Henshall, big shot. Foul underneath. Going.
So maybe allow your power forward, again like a Wagstaff that he's done for over a decade now, and then go weak side into a dribble handoff with the weak side guard.
Henshall has a shot there, doesn't go. Play 5 from 7 from the field for Ian Clark. As Henshall fires away.
I think, to give some support there, I mean, he doesn't need much, but to stream down with him.
Henshall again will get another 2 points, so this second quarter's been...
Physicality and take away some space. I don't know, maybe that's the look.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on him as Henshall throws it up again.
Unbelievable.
He's carried that training form into the game here as Wildcats nearly turn it over, struggling to get it over half court. Henshall's will rattle around and then finally roll in, so a little bit of luck there, but the... Then Henshall not afraid as well.
Shot. Pepper's got to be careful, keep reaching in with that arm. Restored him, like we saw earlier, might go for a rip through into a 3-point shot and find himself at the free throw line.
They're going to have to maybe score.
4 players still jogging behind the line of the ball.
Here's Pepper, the pressure was good. Henshall shooting. That was better from Doolittle. That was gutsy. That's a great story, and well done for getting there and being able to play in all that pain. Here's Henshall. That one can't go. She was right under the hoop. 89.
Danny Mills and John Reilly for being able to get winless services. They believed he would have gone to Europe on big dollars or floated around the NBA, and they said, don't be surprised, he's more than just a 3-point shooter. As we see Benny Henshall pull up behind the arc.
Plenty of eyes on him this season, and what he can do. Jesse Wagstaff in season 16 for the veteran. Time winding down. Henshall from deep. Long rebound. Whistle and Wildcats lead early second term. Windler can't get it to go. Not sure he came back into court then. Henshall for 3. That one's offline. Webster secures the rebound. Henshall coming downhill. Just flings it at the rim.
Times you also need someone to set up the other players, get them involved, and that's what Walton will do now.
Henshall steps back. Long 2. Got it. He is such an exciting prospect.
He's time a little bit more. Hanging with a nice bucket. It's starting to finally going a little easier. Now, fortunately for the Wildcats, they've been able to maintain the scoring on the offensive end. And some.
What a 1-2.
And Adam Ford up and about. Loves it on the defensive end, loves it on the offensive end.
He's happy.
Henshall, a couple of wayward shots from the Wildcats here on the last 2 possessions.
Now Cairns are just packing the paint. We see all 5 Cairns players just literally standing in the paint. So they're letting them have that shot.
Henshall can't get it to fall. Hiram Harris continues to paint.
He is
and
crafty.
he looks like he's going to be something special this year. Henshall with the deep pull. Can't get that to fall. Groves will chase it down. Emphasis on that. And Webster back into the game with Pinder. Henshall. No luck. Groves will clean it up once again.
Media, you know me, I keep a low profile.
I know, and it's interesting with you as well that we've seen you're into this grounding stuff. I looked outside my hotel window today and I saw you outside doing the grounding stuff where you walk
or whatever, but it's good for guys like Henny as well and Harris. They're going to have bigger roles this year, so it's good for them to get a lot of minutes like this, especially in games that are competitive so far before the ball really starts rolling next week.
And what was that? And again, Groves working down there. Isn't rewarded there with a bad pass from Bradshaw. Henshall the other way. Beats the shot blocker, can't make the lay-in.
There's a lot going on in this stadium in the Gold Coast.
10-point lead for the Wildcats. Henshall works down low, can't get it to go. And the Taipans get a chance, 159 of them over the next 2 days. Or at least top goal. Russ O'Nan. Back out to Henshall. No luck. And the energy. Certainly is. It's all about stacking those good performances and having the trust of your coach that you're going to come out there and consistently be able to perform. And unfortunately, can't make that 2 for 11.
And Darius Days too.
But we know how good Perth can be, and we know that they run their offense really well, and Bryce is nice start by Ben Henshall, and that's what we want to see, and that's going to keep him.
Just repeating the news, Ty Webster not playing tonight with illness. Dylan Windler, a huge off-season recruit for Perth, won't be playing, as well as Keanu Pinder. Almost closed the lid on that one. It's part of the spirit, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
It is, and that's what leaves everlasting impressions on these young kids. That one time that they saw Hickey and he signed that contract. He signed that. I like that he talks to his teammates. He's engaged with his teammates defensively and offensively.
Great look for Henshall. Nice find from Harris to assess the floor well. A game like this?
I think as a player, you really just want to work out your teammates. You know, I've played all around the world and been lucky enough to play in different countries and obviously in Australia.
Bag NBL 25 to leave us yours.
Ben Henshall has been great on the boards. He's got 3 boards, 2 assists, 9 points. He's able to lead.
Just being able to take that on and move into this season with the Kings.
Cotton swings to Henshall. The more we see of Ben Henshall as a starter, the more we like.
From people around the league, just being able to lean on those friendships and know that obviously we're going to be competitive when we get out there against each other, but we're also there to kind of help each other work through the struggles of just being able to make every catch and every touch that they get hard is definitely something that you got to work on with a lot of those elite guys that we've got in the league.
Nice shot by Ben Henshall. He shot that in rhythm. He's confident. Lord Sydney, have you been to Coogee? Have you been to Bondi? Have you taken the snaps?
A loan so that you can afford Sydney?
Yeah, that was one thing I was not ready for, but no, being able to get out and get down to the different beats.
The Illawarra Hawks have said that a lot tonight. Henshall at the other end, growing in confidence with every minute we see.
Relentless they have been on the boards, and that's what someone like Peatland can do to stay in the game and get himself into the game. Cheap, easy basket, gives yourself confidence and helps your team. He's been impressive tonight. He's played with confidence.
Good look rattles out for Ben Henshall. Oh.
They're back through Henshall now for 3.
Smooth looking shot from Henshall.
Benny Henshall. Here's Pepper. Born in Shepparton, Victoria. Henshall for his second look from outside. Gets back on. Elijah Pepper tapped it to the advantage of his teammate. Pinder with the handoff. They go through Doolittle. Got his defender in the air. Henshall short.
Ben Cotton just a little
short. 75 plays, 54. Of course, these two teams, as mentioned previously, did battle on Friday night. As Ty Webster, his hands on head, frustrated about that as that one drops. Here is Henshall fading away. Just can't get the roll. Ben Henshall putting the ball on a string for us. 91 plays 67. Here's Henshall. The step back. A little rush that time for Henshall. He might have wanted that back. Now they in the league. Congratulations to him. It's Ben Henshall. Geez, that looked good.
Smooth operator. Expect to see him
in every week. Their team captain, former Perth Wildcats player, Clint Steindl. Here's Henshall. Just a little bit of crisscross there. Acknowledging the bench again. I feel like Jack.
Absolutely. Sync doo-wop both with the Trailblazers and with the Australian national team. Very exciting for what's happening with Basketball Australia, but also here for local.
Another full game.
David Quara commands it. Top of the three-point line for the Wildcats. Henshall, not that time. Jeremy pulls the leg. He'll be collecting a few rebounds for that. Yeah, this is my own doing, I promise.
Making the game interesting, making it competitive as Quera takes it all the way. No, excuse me. Ditches it into Henshall with the easy layup. And here we go, Henshall. Oh, nearly throws it away. Harris back to Henshall. Wide open. Thank you very much. He says, yes, I'm capable, as it's a 20-point. Henshall dishes it to the corner. Henshall gets it back, mid-range, it's good. And that's just stellar. Back.
I was going to say, what a response from Nelson there. And while we talked about Ben Henshall earlier, about not sleeping on him as he misses that one.
As well, if they paid any attention to the NBL 1 West season, this year, they'd have some idea how good that man is. As Henshall, once again, out offense at the moment. Henshall, turnaround jump shot, not that time. Narkle collects it. Nelson will bring it up. Home for, what might be their summer, perhaps, or, another season for another team. It's difficult to expect these guys.
And Deshaun Pass is another player that's made a great showing of himself tonight. He can hold his head up high with his performance.
Henshall from way behind the line. Thank you very much. And that man is
late. And so what you were saying before is the solution is basically clone Marshall Nelson like 12 times.
Henshall once again. There's no way, right? Nelson pulls it in. His length. And you just don't expect that from a man at his height to do that. Henshall once again, that man that you were talking about, once again the mid-range.
Oh, and Butler.
Yep.
So keep your eyes open for that young man in the games to come.
And Henshall, you can tell he's just feeling it, fakes it. Can't finish that time as we have 40 seconds remaining. And this
a long way from the basket. Explores into the paint. Jack White for three. So trouble from the stripe. Has shot the three ball well throughout the series. Henshall flies up the court from one end to the other. Lost it.
Oh, no doubt. They'll want to get that rotation up to keep Shea fresh because you've got a big assignment throughout the course of the 40 minutes.
Whelan blocks the shot. Had four of them on Saturday night on Kane Arena. Just as United were making a run. Perth answer back. They've scored off their last two.
User, is he?
He loves it. In a good way. He's fantastic on social media. Wagstaff short. Henshall gets after it. Not daunted by the moment at all. Ben Henshall.
It's the matchup that he wants. He's going at the youngster.
Henshall doing his very best to deny Dellavedova, and he does. 20 seconds remaining.
I don't mind him shooting threes once he's gotten into the game. Right. But let's get a couple on the hoop to start.
There's Cotton shooting. Inside Pinder.
Been a lot of
Webster. Up and in on him. Golding firing. Arms a little short, so the pressure was good on that occasion. Henshall keen to get it to his.
Great coaching there by Miko.
Golding in the hands this time. Did he cop it in the face, or is he? 16 points that margin. Illy again to the hoop. That one blocks.
Partner smarting.
Pinder. Henshall.
With frustration, he can come out and produce. So it doesn't matter how few minutes he had in that third. You still can't take anything for granted as a defender if you've got Golding beside you.
On the break, Webster. Will he take on Golding? He does. Inside the key he goes. Short jumper. Doesn't go.
Dylan Winley is everywhere. That's 3 consecutive rebounding opportunities. 18-7 and 5, and he's been a big reason why Christian Doolittle has been brought into this game in those pick and roll situations where he's happy to be a facilitator.
Clark can't make it go.
They're going again. They're going at Henshall down low.
Trying to stay in front, but Dellavedova muscles in.
Well, he got the shot that they were looking for. Although it was a
Wildcats change direction here. Cotton couldn't get open. Pinder unsuccessful. Great work from Henshall. The hustle on the offensive glass. That'll keep him. Cotton dropped a knock off that screen. Free ball is no good. Danny Pinder in his last 3 games averaged 21 points and 11.
Big block from Windler. They got all the energy at the moment. He takes on Hunter. Couldn't make it go. He'll get the rebound. Pinder charging through. Held himself.
Man up. You can't be in drop because Cotton will eat you apart.
Wieskamp need him to fire. That one a little firm. Well played by Hurt though. He got himself in good position, but it was stolen out of his hands. Here's Henshall. Having to go to fade away. It's short. He'll get his rebound back again. Then it was cut off by Hurt. Long arms from that Hurt. Sure we'll hear more about it in coming days as Wieskamp was aggressive. Doesn't make it go. Ball bobbles around. Henshall on the break. And reaching in is Lewis. Glover. Quick ball movement. Wieskamp. Didn't make the shot go. He was frustrated, wanted a foul. Cotton needs some luck and some confidence going into the next game. He'll get another crack at it. That time, rattled around. That was unlucky. Shakes his hands. Can't believe it.
And that's the guy you need to send a double or put somebody else on him.
Yeah. I'm not sure they've got anyone else. That's the problem. They're big enough to go with him and agile enough as the Cats will get another time.
Double. But when Bryce Cotton has the ball, get it out of his hands. Make someone else beat you. This guy is unstoppable. You can't let him take shots like that.
Big hustle again. Oh, no. Amazing at both ends of the court. Windler. Firm. Doesn't go. Henshall. Gets fouls.
Every time something defensively, they will find you out somewhere. But right now, you may have to give up a layup so you don't get that fourth. And there it is, that box out or whatever it may come from. And his man now shoots a 3, but it shot mid-flight.
And finish well. Windler lets loose from a long way out. Henshall, offensive rebound, another one. Cotton can't finish.
And even imagine. And he's made back-to-back huge plays on the defensive end for the Wildcats.
And the shots just won't fall for Sydney.
I like Bryce Cotton. And be successful.
Mulawatch to Noy, who's blocked by Windler. Henshall goes into the front court and waits for the tip.
That's nice. Let him go to work. He's fine one-on-one. And that step back, well, brilliant. Of course, he misses, as I say.
Yeah, as you pump him up. But he won't miss too many of those. He's hurt. Pinder didn't come out to him. And just off targets. Five points this margin. Sobey wants to make it a little more. Pinder. Oh, blocked. 1 point the margin. 5 remaining in this quarter. Hurt from outside 3. Rattled around. Just gone off target, hasn't he? He's gone a little cold since quarter. Cotton passes out to Pinder. Firm, Henshall with the boards. And they have to swat it to his team's advantage. Illy on hands and knees. Clark missed the lay-in. Cotton. Illy to Clark, to White, Golding, catch, shoot. It just doesn't go. A bit of holding on there. John really wanted the basket at the moment. White from outside. Henshall fight for the rebounds. Too little again.
Moments he's come up with the right play. They'll go back to him time and time again because they'll back in his leadership and his ability with the ball to make the right read.
Comes off the hands of the Perth Wildcats, and another tip-in doesn't go. Clark hit a big three. Got the 13. Pepper against Dellavedova. Going back. Delhi couldn't finish. Now with Price, has been a lot more aggressive in this quarter.
Everybody else's confidence as well.
Only 2 losses in their last 9 have both been to Illawarra. Fraser again. Can't knock that one down, so 2 of 6 early for Brisbane. You're going to have to shoot.
And Bryce Cotton will check out of the game, much to Drewy thanks.
No, it'll be a quick one. I'm sure he'll be back to start in a second. Give him that a little extra time. A minute here plus the...
Offensively, that's a smart play defensively. Here is Cotton, back on the floor, pulls up. Henshall crashes the glass, boots it back out to Bryce for 3 more.
John does, though. Yep. We've seen it already this season. He is not going to... He's up for the theatre of it, and he wants Bryce to beat records, and that's why I think we've got to give John really a lot of credit for Bryce's performance as well, to put him in those positions.
Here he is on cue. That one rattles out.
And he said, bugger it, I'm just going to try and shoot left-handed the entire game.
But when we did our predictions, Andrew, you and I came up with the same number as another bucket in the paint. We came up with 1-8.
The ultimate decoy in creating space for others.
Averaging 5.5 assists in the series, Bryce Cotton. Keanu Pinder finishes through contact.
Great pass by Benny Henshall. In your guts, in your chest, he backed himself.
Henshall at the other end will back himself. Nice little handoff to Pinder.
Drew, what do you make of Benny Henshall?
Stick on social media. Wagstaff short. Henshall gets after it. Not daunted by the moment at all. Ben Henshall for Christian Doolittle, who has 29.
It is. It's
must score possession here for the Wildcats. Henshall dragged it back out. Cotton over the top. Who else but Bryce?
Good pace. His night off with a 3. How amazing is that? Bryce did not shoot in the 4th term on Thursday night. As Pinder head towards the basket. He's got a foul as well, or drawn a 53-39, 14 points to margin. United standing up to all challenges. Pinder puts it on the floor, out of control, but he'll get called for the foul.
Change direction here. Cotton couldn't get open. Pinder unsuccessful. Great work from Henshall. The hustle on the offensive glass. That'll keep him in the good graces of the...
2 points on the board already. Henshall. Pass inside to Pinder. Got 2 to go against, and he's up to the challenge.
That's Tom.
He scores the 2 and was back. Henshall into the front court. Glover onto him. Pinder this time decides the 3.
Wow. I'm expecting a timeout.
They got lucky there. Keanu bailed out a little bit. He doesn't want to pick up that 3rd foul.
Here is Pinder, and he's fouled down to the basket. Who's the spark that's needed here? I mean, the obvious, and with the boards. Windler. Josh King wants a timeout.
That's on him.
Yeah. I'm not sure they've got anyone else. That's the problem. They're big enough to go with him and agile enough as the Cats will get another 2.
Further than that, Sydney 7 and 6 at home, Perth 7 and 6 on the road. Windler gets an early look and knocks down the 3.
An unselfish play there by Ben Henshall. I thought he had
score of their own to swing that pendulum back their way for the final quarter.
He just can't foul.
Here's Bryce Cotton, pulls up, knocks down a big 3.
Now on the other end of the court, little pass was a bit awkward. Came into the hands of Henshall to Doolittle, and he nails it. So Lewis did really well. The coach would like that. Henshall slows it down. Pinder thinks maybe I did all the hard work to get the ball back. I deserve some points, and he'll get a foul as he drove to the basket. John really. Wagstaff to hand off to Henshall. Wagstaff top of the key. Drives it from there. Really impressive. Henshall maybe with a response. Sees the gap. Wagstaff, corner. Corner three goods. Right on the buzzer. And that's with Cotton. Henshall had two come at him. Aquera for three.
Downhill and you have to collapse, otherwise it's a layup.
Henshall sees an opening, feeds it off. Doolittle and get the two as well.
Will continue to score points, although he turns that one over on him by Henshall. Now Munza will get to the free throw line.
Nice defense there from Bridge.
Best rebounders in the competition, and he gets the putback.
And I don't think it's Mitch Norton guarding him, Derek. I think it's the Brisbane Bullets. You know, it's when you got a player like that, it's a team job. Hopefully they got the right scouting.
Wildcats have shown thus far.
Yeah, the ball's humming around now. We don't see a lot of action in the half court because they're usually getting it up as Almazu makes a float.
Defensively, here is Cotton back on the floor, pulls up. Henshall crashes the glass, boots it back out to Bryce for three more.
They're the tough consistency and efficiency. Looks like he's got a little bit of bounce in his step today.
Henshall finds Harris for an easy two. This is almost unlike Tasmania with the way that Perth... He's on the board now. And he concedes a foul at the other end as Winler blows past him for two. One shot, let's line up. 4 points and 4 rebounds for Gorjok Gat. Henshall for Almanza, who's fine. Coincidentally, the
Wildcats have shown thus far.
Yeah, the ball's humming around now. We don't see a lot of action in the half court because they're usually getting it up as Almazu makes a float.
Defensively, here is Cotton back on the floor, pulls up. Henshall crashes the glass, boots it back out to Bryce for three more.
They're the tough consistency and efficiency. Looks like he's got a little bit of bounce in his step today.
Henshall finds Harris for an easy two. This is almost unlike Tasmania with the way that Perth... He's on the board now. And he concedes a foul at the other end as Winler blows past him for two. One shot, let's line up. Bounce for Gorjok Gat. Henshall for Almanza, who's fine. Coincidentally, we'll take it
out there as well. The original starting five for the Wildcats. Aquera gets the opening shot and it rolls over the front of the rim for his first score in the game. Soft touch. Teams have been in front in each of the 4 quarters. Pinder outside. Henshall puts it on the deck, feeds it down low. Winler gets it done. Chance at a three-point play now. That's good. 5 rebounds in 32 minutes. One of his better games for the season. This is Cotton again firing. He's fouled by Rasmussen. And 3 free throws to come.
The courage of Mike
Golding and Vasiljevic and DJ. Winler shooting. Here's Pinder taking on Humphries and earning a trip to the free throw line.
Honestly, I put Casey Prather in there soon too.
Then the schemes to get quality looks, and then the talent takes over when it's time to score buckets.
Cotton guarded by Hickey. Cotton is just too good. 5 of 8 shooting, trying to equal Al Green. 1984 to go 5 straight games with 40+ points. That's you just got to take care of that.
And the rotations resulted in Pinder having to contest that 3-point shot from Lee.
Pinder, tough stuff under the rack with that finishes in the hands of Tyler Harvey. Oh, Todd Withers tried to bury a jam. He missed, and Elijah Pepper says, I got your back.
A lot of activity, and that picked the dribble up somewhere around Rockhampton.
It was definitely 3 steps, possibly 4.
Winler from outside.
That is a modern version of
he gets himself in foul trouble and it limits his productivity. But when he's on the court, he can score from a variety of ways. He does all those little grimy things that Adam Ford likes as Almanza.
Yep, the play was on. He just didn't get there quick enough.
Now Henshall comes up with it and dishes it off to Cotton. Good man to give it to.
See, sometimes Tanner Groves tries to come up and set a ball screen.
First quarter to regain the lead.
And it's so hard for teams. I can see, look at this. This is just easy transition. Defense is complete. I don't want to hear nobody say.
Get downhill in the full court. Very hard to stay in front of.
They put Windler on him as well, who's got a lot of height and a lot of athleticism. But I still think Kendrick Davis is too.
As they expand the lead once more.
More easy execution for Adelaide. Kendrick Davis, the drop-off, pick and roll for Humphreys.
Bryce Cotton knocks down the three. He's up to 26 in the game.
And that's not going to work.
Adelaide loose ball. He's a magnet for it at the moment, Bryce Cotton.
Henshall open again.
And he drops it off. Almanza, push shot off glass, adds to. Mike Wells needs timeout. The Wildcats have their... Marshall flirting with danger there with the body contact. Now they double team him. He gets it to Henshall. Windler fires, knocks down the three, and the Wildcats look like winners now. They lead.
Get a nice performance last Friday, but with this expected to be a high-scoring game, where does he find himself at the offensive end? Because he can space the floor, he can shoot it, but he doesn't necessarily demand it. I'd love to see him come into it.
Nice defense from the Wildcats on that last possession. Ben Henshall involved. Trying to make it happen at the other end. He offloads to Windler. And Perth have got 50. Draw that up. Get that guy down there in the Chicago Bulls jersey to push you back out. Here's Cotton for a new career high! 46 for Bryce Cotton.
So some are going to have to step up as there is Cook it was who went down, and then Pinder. Sherry picking down the other end.
Here's a player that is very much built on to do.
That's a soft touch by the big fella.
Now here he's the defensive end, Doolittle. Hasn't really been stroking it nicely, but he does on this occasion. Now Henshall on the fast break. Somehow got it back to Pinder. And it's out to third.
Protects your players that play the biggest minutes. There's load management. We've all heard that term before, haven't we? You love it, I can tell.
Let me re-ask the question then, Becca, if that is you.
Take it to that one, no good, front iron. And tempo here, every time they get a rebound, they're trying to push it. And, well, can't leave shooters open as Chris Goulding knocks down his Highland. And obviously the top scorer for Australia, no surprise, Chris Goulding with his three, and he is well on his way to reaching that kind of numbers. He is 4 of 5 right now from three-point range, and an easy dunk there by Josh, knocking them down on those last two possessions as another turnover for Thailand and not sprinting back on defense, and an easy 2-point bucket for DJ Vasiljevic. A few more easy touches if you want to get back into this game. As there you see the players on the court at the bottom of your screen, and throw it down, big man, and that's exactly what he did here now, and get some playing time to some of these younger players as well. Unselfish, give and go, and Olbridge, a little bit of hang time for the big mid qualifiers. They bid to get back to the Asia Cup, as now everyone has scored for Australia minus Kyle Bowen.
DeAndre Cook sidesteps, can't get it to fall. Wildcats will take it the other way through Henshall. Yet through the paint. Flirted with going upstairs. We know Ben Henshall can get upstairs, Damon.
Yeah, right. That's a 2-3 zone Brisbane's playing right now. Remember those?
Wagstaff into the game. Dared to shoot it by Rocco for good reason. Cotton.
And that's where you've got to be careful. When you're playing a zone, you give up offensive rebounds.
The court, Elijah Pepper and Ty Webster to get a run. I'll be interested to see the game management as Whitler sends one away from three. That's what he can do.
Through a whole entire play and then just an easy layup to rim by Toby.
And you know that you're in tune with your coach when that does happen, as Doolittle will score as well with the foul. One shot, mate.
starting lineup. Good D on Golding there too. Forced a tough look. Perth by 4. Pinder to the rack.
That's goaltending.
That'll count.
Got to find a way to get some sets for him and get him some better looks.
Nice pass from Henshall for Ethan Almanza.
He's cooking. He is looking.
Now to Henshall. Good defence on this occasion from the Jack Jumpers. Making it tough, although they just let Pepper along the baseline for a little 2 underneath the hoop.
His first step.
Sends it to Pinder. Keen to take this switch on. Hands were good, though. And the Tassie defender, Doolittle, forced to throw it up. And it wasn't a bad shot in the end. Sluggish start for the Jack Jumpers to get us underway, but it's only early. Here's Pinder from outside. Another 3. He splashed 2 in the game. Put it on again. Has his little rest. That pass was dangerous from Henshall. Pepper will gather, and Pepper will hit the 2. Very composed, isn't he, for a young man?
Yeah. Copes and I ran with it last week, and we got laughed at on Twitter. Doesn't look so silly now. Harris from outside, an unlikely three-point shooter. Hiram Harris. First knockdown of the year. One dribble too many for Matt Hurt. Great ball movement from Perth, and it ends in an Elijah Pepper 3. Sydney and Tasmania up next. Henshall got his man up in the air, and then Pinder finishes off. 9 points for Keanu.
Slater on the floor.
No Bryce Cotton, as we mentioned. Ty Webster also not suiting up tonight. So 2 of their starters not out there. Keanu Pinder steps out and shows everyone else how it's done.
When Bryce Cotton comes back, this is why I was so high on this Perth Wildcats team.
Doolittle walks into the 3. Wow. Undos Tress.
Wow. If you love defense, look away now. Or why not?
Marnes are inside off the little feed. Bueno, mi amigo!
Justin Tatum as well for having the confidence in him to give him extended opportunity. Now look at him.
Winler from the corner. Here's 3 ball goes. Annalie Maley, you were listening to Jonathan 3 run for the Hawks right now. Big move late in the 3rd quarter. Henshall passes for Wagstaff inside.
Me.
They're on top of the table now. 6-2 for the season. Winler from long range. And I mean long range.
Pick a number between 1 and 35.
1 and 35.
Yeah.
Let's go late first round. I think that he makes every team better. He's Mr. Fix It, Mr. Do It All. I don't think he could
think about it.
Yeah, it's a different style of basketball than we've been seeing them play. It seems like they're really focusing on the small, controllable things, like offensive rebounding, like moving the basketball.
As well could he know. That time couldn't go. Pepper chasing after it. Windler. Henshall out wide. Pepper for 3. Brings the arena alive. Doolittle looks inside. Nothing on offer. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Henshall, the pass. Pinder! Ripping it through. Henshall will take the rebound. He's hauled in a few too, Ben Henshall. He hasn't scored a lot of points, but he's been active on the glass. Here's our Munza. Oh, that was a nice little floater as well for Ivano Mundy, his team minutes. There's Windler, and he'll draw the foul on Tui, so he'll go to the line as well. So Windler's game at the moment, Cook's in his face. Pinder wants the hand off. Went for the roll, he'll get it back again. Noy is on the foul. In the end, still plenty of time on the clock. Under 5 minutes now. Oh, Pinder feeling it all the way from three-point lands.
But I still feel he's got more offense in his bag. He hasn't been playing a whole lot of minutes, neither, maybe 15 to 16 a game. As Hiram Harris gets himself another bucket in an and one. So Freddie...
John really calls for one good shot.
But Max Darden ain't the one you want to go at, I don't think.
Well, that'll work from Windler. That up through Jordan Crawford. A little bit strong. Rebound Henshall. Hit a head pass to Withers.
Interesting lineup here for the Wildcats with no Bryce.
Back to the season, Jordan Crawford. Doesn't need too much of an invitation, as we well know. Henshall inside, somehow to Almanza, who gets it up before the buzzer.
Another offensive rebound.
Who hands them a 5-point lead. So what have Perth got now? And it takes something really special. That's exactly what Bryce Cotton can deliver, though. Back to 3.
Way too easy for them. Way
easy.
Henshall comes up with it for the Wildcats. So much excitement about this man. Always excitement about this man. Well, you've got it. Been involved with one of the Kings, one of 4 championship Kings out there for the Phoenix. Windler catch and shoot. That's a nice sign. Well,
all sorts of stressful moments here with the officials because he thought that should have been a travel.
He's gone full Mike Wells on him. Ethan Almanza can't finish inside.
I didn't see any clipboards flying around.
Left hand, he's gone back doors for a little bit of a medical scene too, but he's back out on the secondary bench now and he should be out there shortly.
Good news, Kels, thank you.
Into town, well, they've done whatever it takes for you, Drewy. You've got your box score printed out now.
11-point lead for the Cats. The home fans excited. Even more excited about that from Ethan Almanza.
Action as well for the Phoenix.
Pepper and Henshall running their own show.
I reckon I could have a look at some top golf, but I'm not sure how good I'd be.
Top golf's definitely on the menu. A fantastic addition.
Great pass.
Byron Harris with the lane of the great pass there.
Player level. He doesn't have to play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He can just kind of learn the system and learn the flow of the game, and that's just going to keep helping him.
Pepper off the inbound. I've said it before, but Pepper's going to be really interesting.
Down, but he was able to get the tip and get it to Harris.
4 minutes remain. The Perth Wildcats, a hectic travel schedule. Of course, spending some time in Japan as Harris cuts, ducks, weaves and scores.
And that's been the like, but he's been impressive so far. He looks fit. He's engaged in the team defense, and that's what you want to see as an import coming into the league.
Keanu Pinder with the deep ball. Been an entertaining start to this game, albeit a lot of changes from both teams, but here's Almanza rolling to the basket.
An ambitious pass there from Nelson. Pepper. Bang, bang, Pepper.
Quick release from Pepper. Love to see
for the Perth Wildcats. John really
expect
upstairs. Had plenty of time to line it up. A little short that time. Henshall's, they're off. 3-on-1. Nice find from Henshall. How quick was that?
Very quick. A little 3-on-1 action.
Had 12 points now, Severeith. Tom Jervis, 10 points for the young man. And brings Jesse Wags. Here's Henshall. Finds Jervis. 14 points. I'm going to go to the stat book. That could have been, that might be season high. Aquera upstairs. That was
three. So trouble from the stripers. Shot the 3-ball well throughout the series. Henshall flies up the court from one end to the other. Lost the handle. Wildcats thought there was a foul. White bulldozed.
Not afraid of big moments, and although it's early on, it kind of feels like a big moment before that made three.
Steps out of bounds.
Good denial.
Lives up to the stat line.
I'm coming back with Jack White. I know Marcus is playing some good. Oh, turnover.
Illy all up and in on Cotton.
Keep going to Doolittle, though, on this occasion.
Got to.
It's Henshall, and he passes it out. Oh dear, it's ugly stuff right now, Damien Martin.
Martin is smarting.
Pinder, Henshall puts it on the floor. In underneath he goes, and an offensive foul. Here's Henshall. Having to go the fade away. It's short. He'll get his rebound back again. Then it was cut off by Hurt. Long arms from that Hurt. Taking on Doolittle. It'll not go in again. Cotton on the break. Quick pass. Just got the hand in there. Jason Kadee. Good defence. Mayan down the other end. And the Perth got in response. Henshall against DJ. He's fended off there and it'll be an offensive foul. So he's got a couple of fouls as well in a quick drive.
Oh, my.
He just barged his way through then.
And Doolittle's a good defender, man. I don't get it. He's strong.
Here's Davis on the break. Opens up for
to watch. And I think he's been one of the main reasons why they've been performing when they lost their point guard. He's really stepped up with Derek Walton Jr. out.
There were concerns for him too. We remember Damo and I would try and put points on the board.
And that's where you've got to give credit to a coaching staff. That is changing a guy mid-season. This is what we need from him.
He's done a good job on the
taking full advantage of and getting those layups from.
Still leading at the moment, though. Stolen by Henshall. Here's Glover inside. Hurt's shot is short. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the NBL at its very best. Wagstaff to Henshall. Trying to find Doolittle in the middle of the key. Illy on the break. So too Jack White. He's sprinted.
And Davis, both of them are great scorers, but they're unselfish scorers. They read the game so well. They know when it's their time to try and put 2 points on the board themselves or get others involved.
So turnover and
bucket. I think we'll get a timeout from really.
Closest they've been, 18 points, and they'll get the ball back as Henshall stepped out of bounds.
Step one, Derek. Step two.
The other thing when you look at this one too, where the dominance now, I don't know whether our stats have gone off the blink, but the rebound count is 3.
Quarter, let's hope we get another tight one here as the Wildcats control the tip. And they've had their way with Adelaide recently. They've won 6 of the last 7, but Kendrick Davis has stolen it from Henshall. Can't finish it off though.
Up chances. But that doesn't happen without Trey Kell doing what he does.
Yet to add to the half-time score in the minute to open the third quarter. The Hawks lead the league in
the floor. Defensively, they've got to be better on their rotations and start to get some stops here.
There's stops. Instead, they're being stopped. Darius Days thought about elevating and is fouled. He had his career-high 20 points against Perth in round 7. Henshall turned around by Young Jung Lee. Eyes on the clock. Lee, length of the corner. We liked it.
Groves looking inside. Henshall takes it away. Looking inside for Almanza. Can't connect with him.
He was a count too late.
Davis got a piece of the pass. Wildcats get it back though. Shot clock at 10. Here's Henshall muscling his way inside. Ran into a dead end. First turnover of the game for Perth in succession for the Wildcats. So it's an interesting patch for them, coming in ranked 4th in the league at 8-8. Well done, Sunday Detch. A little away from Cotton. Feeds Humphreys in turn.
Henshall. Almanza inside there. The pass is good. Almanza loses possession. Great desperation. Peatley.
Perth gave up 28 attempts to Brisbane on Friday night, Cobes. Only had 9 of their own.
But the thing is, Wildcats can get themselves going. There's no way you can let him continue to get open shots like this. You got to make him drive, run him off the three-point line, double team him off screens, make someone else beat you. Well, for this for how long? Somebody has to go at him, though, make him play some defense, post him up.
Tizovic gets the steal at the other end now. Lopez coming downhill
a long time ago.
116 points. Foul on Henshall.
Doolittle will have a spell. Leading scorer on the floor with 11 points. And The Wildcats turn it over, and the Bullets are out and running. And
he got on Miss Norton did not go unnoticed.
Henshall stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Norton.
Here's Henshall again. Try to find Almanza. Let's get down to courtside. Arnelli Maley.
I just want to take him.
Elijah Pepper again had a great look. Harris keeps the ball alive, and then Michael Harris throws it away.
There's been a lot of talk about how you guard Bryce Cotton on the...
They have scored 22 points at the end of the first quarter, 27 now, as, well, it looks like Nick Kay just slipped on that possession. As the turn
setting good picks, just keep going there.
Zakarski comes through, gets the contact, goes unwhistled, and Bateman will wrestle it off Henshall. Cook turns down the three. In this venue at the moment, Damon, they are watching Chris Golding every time Melbourne go to the other end of the floor.
Something special. It's just captivating watching this dude operate like this.
Now he comes up with this Wildcats for the final play of this quarter. They've watched their 14-point lead dwindle away. And that last possession dwindles away as well. Cameron from halfway.
During the week that everything is up, fans are up, coming to more games as Henshall's keen to dish it off. Almanza was in the wrong position. Good crowds, good TV audience, everything's very positive.
And after the offensive rebound and get a really good three ball.
Yeah, and this team's going to be continuing to adjust as Josh King finds his way in the league, and also Derek Walton Jr. not being available. This guy here, Angus...
Experiences, Andrew. That's not a recipe to win consistently.
Here comes Lewis, 3-on-2 up ahead.
It's not bad, but can they maintain this level of scoring?
Cough that one up. 10 assists on 15 makes for the Wildcats.
Tui against Windler. The pass off is good. Henshall. Underneath that pass, not so good. Just not firm enough. Should have taken the shot. And Tui from...
Just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Damo.
Thanks for clarifying that one.
Yeah. Pinder had it taken away from him. He knocked over Cook, so...
Across his career, Jesse Wagstaff. Windler takes care of the rebound. His first of the game.
Coming in, averaging 10 rebounds.
There's been a few questions about subbing patterns this year so far.
Royal Commission. Thief. You're thieving. The thievery.
Ball in the hands of the right man. Jackson Cartwright gets to work. Left that one well short. On the net.
Here's something I didn't think I'd ever say, Jack, but you got problems if you got Matt Mooney and Max Darling on the same side of the floor. Max turned down a triple, as we see.
Ross Cotton would be handy right now, but Perth are finding other ways to do it. Henshall was aggressive. Jackson Cartwright comes up with it.
The big
Pepper. We know he's got some spicy moves. He gives that one up. Henshall now has it poked away. And Tassie with a couple of big defensive plays.
Face of Henshall, he's put him under pressure. Nearly a turnover. And Henshall hesitant to shoot as well, and then turns it over. So great pressure, Shea Ellie and the rest of his team.
He's got a double-double working as well. Webber can't quite connect with Cotton. And Henshall gives it away.
Webster continues to get into the paint. Henshall, the young NBA prospect, gets in there, gets tied up with Edwards, who can do it on both ends of the floor.
He is, and we
Take it away. Henshall, he's been aggressive. He likes to match up with Wardenberg, who does a good job of walling up and walls him up so much he's out of bounds. Down straight into the paint. He's a tough little finisher. Can't get it to go that time, and Henshall will take it the other way. Ooh. Looks to find probably had Aquera going down the middle there, but a myriad of options.
That's what wins championships is having that deep bench, and
you know, when there's a game that someone's injured, someone else can step up and really take the heat, and that's what John really is going to want from his group.
It's a little bit sore with that knee as well. So Aquera, Michael Harris, Henshall, Almanza and Pepper out there for Perth. A turnover and a jam for Trey Kell. No way. Hit me in the arm or the leg or whatever, but
anywhere else.
Not the money maker. Here he goes. Right idea. Much of a chance to talk to some of the guys you know about what to expect in the NBL, about, you know, we're talking about the way the officiating happens and the physicality and things like that. But do you kind of know what you're expecting coming into the season?
And Jack McVeigh. Jack McVeigh, shout out to him. He's got his opportunity now with that two-way contract at the Houston Rockets. Packed out the PPER. Geraldton local. Played in the NBL. And part of the coaching staff for the Geraldton Buccaneers in 2024.
If he hasn't shot at least 1,000 free throws in the last 2 days, then he hasn't done it the right way.
It's almost automatic for Chris Golding.
Right, Melbourne United. They've missed a couple around the basket. Wide open three. And now they fumble.
Just about to say better off. 18% from the field across the series. He's a better shooter than that. Clark. Not that time.
Keanu was about to get the
ball alive.
And now he's about to get a trail triple.
Melbourne by 3. Golding, as requested.
I saw it coming.
What a contest this is. Golding watches Henshall fly by.
Outrageous.
Dominating with points in the paint, an area where they dominated game 1 also. And Chris Golding comes off for his first look. That's dangerous. Out
to 7. United need to respond. Here's Golding. He got free. Doesn't go. Came up.
Cuts it back to 10. He's got 20 for the game now, the benchmark. Golding again.
In Cameron. Feeds it inside to the big beast. In Lee. Good pass. Cameron will draw the foul. He really wanted the trap. Lee hasn't. We haven't seen a lot of Rob Lowe. He got into early foul trouble with the 3. And
over making decisions for Melbourne United at one end, and Bryce Scott, and you're always a chance when he's on the floor. Drew attention, open up an offensive putback. They just need a little bit of help from their bigs in those pin down screens, those staggers. Just a quick show. Doesn't have to be a hard release to quick. These guys are too good as shooters from behind the arc.
Low-paced team, but at times they've been known to ramp it up.
This Ian Hummer starting this afternoon finds Stoddart. The youngster can't score. Just his 4th.
The jack jump was 2 extra possessions right then.
The inbound Jimmy. Doyle couldn't finish off this counter pick.
The jack jump was 2 extra possessions right then.
The inbound Jimmy. Doyle couldn't finish off this counter pick.
First of 7 games on the road for Perth. This will be huge if they can get it in Adelaide. Kendrick Davis is off the mark from deep. Windler grabs the rebound.
That's a shit great. They get the ball into play straight away. Shot goes up and in. Long 2, I believe.
And pretty unstoppable. Bryce Cotton, perfect from the line. 14 free throw attempts against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix as Bateman loads up from outside. That's good.
Melbourne have won 12 of their last 15 games against the Wildcats. Perth have started well here, but so's Chris Golding.
Well, he needs more help with
the super subs. Dean Bickham is running a 10-man rotation. Everybody's getting up. That's down. That's down. You got to know the step.
Rob Lowe trying to get Golding involved. He turns the corner and he owns the moment.
Test the three from behind. If he beats you off the drive, so be it. Again, they switch.
Couldn't make it 10.
The stadium definitely smells different.
It certainly does. Here's Doyle. Works his way inside the key. That one a little firm. Won't go. Here's
to Tatum just then. He did make a point of they're not going to shoot like this for the entire game. So to not go away from their game plan, he wants them to kind of punch the ball.
A prodigious young talent and a flat-out scorer. Tonight we're seeing it. And we're seeing Tyler Harvey do it at the other end. How do you...
But Roth is such a calm coach. He knows that they're going to be in the game at the end of the game. And they always make a run.
And a turnover hit, but the ball was loose. Might be getting the rub of the green at the moment. Clint Steindl can't come up with it. 4 of 22.
With that knee injury in that Tassie game on Sunday, he looks okay at the moment, but hopefully that doesn't impact him for the rest of the game.
We'll see how he goes here, and no problems with the knee and the hand.
No hesitation. Comes down. This is his first. So they just come on drive to the three-point line.
I'll take a 3 any day of the week.
Correct.
Sparkle of bullet. Nothing but net.
A little bit of salt water at Scarborough Beach will do the job, I feel, tomorrow. Here is Parsons. 8-second difference.
And the coolest man in basketball at the half, Jackson. Out to Nelson, three-pointer. Not this time. 7 of 8, really pulled in. Yes, he does. That's
For Jack White. Time for something remarkable. Delavan over inside for Golding. Foul.
The same. Spot on it. It was only a 5-point ball game, but the sense that normally we're just getting on top, but
Humphries with a couple of fouls and Montrez on the bench as well as Davis feeds it inside. Well played. Sunday will get it too, and he got a foul as well.
Yeah.
Christian Doolittle. He almost does what he wants, and once again, United quick down the other end of the court to try and catch Perth out, and Jack White
114 points a game, so it's going to be a tough challenge for this Brisbane Bullets side. And straight away, that's a fast start. Crowd into it early. Jack Jumpers get a second opportunity and trail by 19 points on their home floor.
And the thing you want to do is you don't want to lose.
Jack Jumpers get a second opportunity and trail by 19 points on their home floor.
And the thing you want to do is you don't want to lose heart with what's happening.
2 of 5 for Henshall. Groves looking inside.
Bell.
34 minutes out of the 37 we played for Bryce Cotton. It's cruel. Fegan's teacher at just rock.
Get amongst the points. He's only got 5 to his name at the moment. He's Trey Kell under pressure. Finds Beatling. Has to do a lot of work around his knees, and he does really well to finish that basket. Advantage of maybe the smaller lineup. Putting it on the floor is Hickey. Pass inside. Froling. He's fouled.
Their best performance of the season. They'll be looking to continue on and build as this season goes, as Rocco Zakarski gets his first points of the night.
I hope they go back to it again, because Geordie Hunter is causing some headaches out there.
Certainly is. Still a game on at the moment, but passing.
Delavan over marshalling the troops. He's got that shot clock down to 9. Another decoy. This time it's Clark wide open.
Was the slip that time, particularly with Bryce Cotton, of course.
Also a little dump off. Kenyon was blocked by Pepper.
12 point, 5 of 9. All 5 starters for Perth. Oh, sorry, all of the 5 starters in double figures. Ty Webster's the other one in double figures for Perth.
Gets 2 terminal.
Nice pass off the inbound.
Harris couldn't finish on that occasion. And again, Bradshaw looked to push the tempo. Adnam went for the no look, and it got...
It's a bold strategy, doing it to Bryce.
Talking about three-point percentage, Bryce Cotton has recorded 108 career three-pointers against Cairns, the most of any.
For the Jackies, Henshall, Harris, Doolittle, Cotton and Pepper is the 5 for John Rillie and the Wildcats. Magnay's...
Nice little finish to the game here from Okwera after coming in with a tough play, a three-point shooting foul. Dufel might.
One player that I've seen so far that hasn't signed every autograph and taken every selfie with any youngster who wants it. A tip in from Hickey doesn't go. Which is...
Obviously, two people are going to come to Bryce Cotton. Wide open three-point shot. He was able to knock it down.
One young lead try to access Froling underneath.
Narkle, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Has that top of the three-point line, steps through, tries to draw the contact. Close.
Team seems like it could have been worse.
Oh, absolutely. The Wildcats should have gone in with some confidence because they're far from playing their best basketball. Yet the score, the margin is still very much within reach.
Lucky I take the rebounds. Here's Delhi. He passes inside. Leal lose it. Henshall against 2. Does he go all the way? He does, but
points in this game. And that's what you want to do. You want to bring Rob Lowe away from the basket. Perth got these mobile. Look at Shane. Transition. Refs might have let one go. That's all right.
Doolittle pull.
It's only a 5-point ball game, but it seems that they're just getting on top, but they're chipping away at it.
You got to be careful.
Doolittle up against Hurt, stripped out of his hands. Henshall kept it in play. Go. You can see he's just a little hesitant. The 4th foul. Doesn't want to give a charging foul. He's Henshall, hands and knees. Cotton leading the way. Sobey, inside he goes. Oh, and once again, Hunter misses a dunk. He gets it stripped out of his hands. Henshall on the break with plenty of speed, gets the 2.
Missing, Perth are taking full advantage of and getting those layups from.
Still leading at the moment, though. Stolen by Henshall. Here's Glover inside. Hurt's shot is short.
We need to score some points. We know this man will continue to score points. Although he turns that one over on him by Henshall. Now Munz for Henshall.
Groves looking inside. Henshall takes it away.
He was a count too late. The play was on, just didn't get there quick enough.
Now Henshall comes up with it and dishes it off to Cotton. Good man to give it to.
See, sometimes
5 of 17 for Rob Edwards. He's got 18 points on 17 shots. Higgins Titcher, a little drop off for Groves, was poked away.
Cotton Cuttle did a good job to keep him at bay, and Jarrell Martin aggressively after the rebound.
And look, if you're Adelaide, that's what you want.
Henshall stole it from Rasmussen. Cotton peels off to the other wing. Henshall goes solo. Couldn't first score since the opening quarter. Cuts the margin to 6. Last play of the third. Rasmussen in traffic, lost the handle. Cotton, nothing is beyond the man. He goes from half court.
So which team is more composed, Brad?
Well, that's what's going to win it. Right now, I'm going to go with Illawarra if they can get it inside.
Here's Henshall, Hickey, a little bit of a shove. He doesn't make the play.
2 more for Cotton.
And then you got a guy like Bryce Cotton who says, hold up, Copeland, just shut up. I'll show you what's happening here.
Here we go again. 43. Looking for a new career high. Turn. Can this man create some magic late in the piece? He tosses it away, and it opens the door for Ben Henshall, who gets blocked by the rim.
And, well, the good thing is not knocking them down on those last 2 possessions as another turnover for Thailand and not sprinting back on defense and an easy 2-point. And it is going to be another steal. And Henshall goes all the way in Indonesia, still looking for their first win. What's going to be even crazier is the games on next Sunday, for these 2 teams.
And because Geordie Hunter is causing some headaches out there.
Certainly is. Still a game on at the moment, but passes like that doesn't help. Henshall, back passes to Doolittle.
Off the court as quickly as possible, and see the fact we're seeing their assistant coach trying to get one of his team players to foul just to get to the sideline so they can sub-win the round. Instead, they get a steal.
They do.
And that would have been enough for J.O. and the medical team to say, let's put you out there.
So he sits down with 33 points, Bryce Cotton. And a turnover here. He would have also seen Chris Golding scored a rate of knots.
Settling in for that mid-range. Not a lot of coaches necessarily applaud that shot these days.
Another turnover for Melbourne. Almanza this time shares.
Bowen's got his hands full, and he is on his way to a career night.
Nice hands from Henshall. Picked that pass off, and then everyone left.
Love you, Derek. Love you, Damon. Love you, Drewy. Coach.
On the fast break to Deng. Just couldn't haul it in. Here's Henshall. Up the other end, it's 2014.
Defensive rebound. Back out to Blanchfield. Bang time the last one. Is Hickey crashing the offensive glass.
Oh, pull up through ball.
Was stolen by Henshall.
Oh!
Cooks through the legs, into the key, tried to go round the back. Loose ball, Doolittle comes up with it.
Harris couldn't finish on that occasion. And again, Bradshaw looked to push the tempo. Adnam went for the no look, and it got turned over. Henshall.
Doolittle, Cotton and Pepper is the 5 for John Rillie and the Wildcats. Magnay's lob inside, deflected. That was forced, that wasn't there.
Into that confidence that it's showing with the performance.
Bit of boomers action for Ben Henshall, as well as playing with Otago, the Perth outpost in the NZNBL. The steal there. Sets up Cotton at the other end. Step back for Brian.
Of his new haircut, but he's got a line. He got lined up. And I know the youngsters, Benny Henshall in particular, they literally laughed in his face when he walked into training. So it might be year 16, but it's the first time in those 16 seasons.
I like to play in Cairns. It's a crazy experience, and I'm sure the crowd are really going to get behind them this season. And they need players like that at the Cairns Thai fans. And we know 40 loves to get those type of players.
Edwards locked up. Doolittle.
No idea. I don't pay attention to that stuff, man. Stay off social media. You know me. I keep a low profile.
I know. And it's interesting with you as well that we've seen you're into this grounding stuff. I looked outside my hotel window. Errant pass, Bradshaw. And again, Groves working down there. Isn't rewarded there with a bad pass from Bradshaw. Henshall the other one.
Wide open three-point shot. He was able to knock it down.
One young Lee trying to access Froling underneath the basket.
Fest.
I'm sure Paul Smith's there with the Hoops capital and bringing it back to Sydney. Shout out to Paul Smith, our man.
Cotton upstairs.
Damn.
Look at the hops on Bryce Cotton.
Oh, just dropped in his lap. An ambitious pass there from Nelson. Pepper. Bang, bang.
Naku, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Has it, top of the three-point line, steps through, tries to draw the contact, throws it away. Into the corner, Pepper.
Little over a minute. Billy wants to take on Doolittle. Trying to clear a path. Oh, swat away from Henshall. Cotton on the break.
As the Wildcats control the tip. And they've had their way with Adelaide recently. They've won 6 of the last 7, but Kendrick Davis has stolen it from Henshall. Can't finish it off, though, and David Aquera puts a stop to it.
Having a challenge up his sleeve was going to mean anything anyway, unfortunately, at this stage of the game.
Down by 25, having led for the entire first half. Henshall gets the block on Edwards.
Now he sizes him up with the shot clock at 9, puts it on the deck, spinning, no way past. Well done, Wagstaff. Henshall blocks the shot, came to Kadee.
From within, he's got all the skills, but I think right now he just needs to see the ball go through the hoop, and his teammates can help that with some great screens, a play call for him, and back him in to drop it through the hoop.
Nice defence.
Earlier tonight, it was the Sydney Kings getting up by 6 points against the Cairns Taipans in Cairns. Taron Armstrong tried his hardest with 28 points, but it was Cam Oliver who was the Foot Locker player of the game. 20.
John Riley's timeout.
That's right. He wants his team to be more aggressive offensively, and that means to get more actions out of their offense. So keep moving the ball, get second, third, fourth option.
58-51 is the score. Phoenix aggressive. That one swatted away. Glover tried to keep it to his team's advantage. Good slap, though, from Hunter. And the worst in the 40-minute game. This has been a great turnaround. Confidence is a wonderful thing, and Sword is charging his way to the end of the courts. Over the top was a bit of a swat away. Now, John really might...
On this number for most of the fourth quarter. Jackson Cartwright, shot clock at 3, blocked by Henshall, making big plays at both ends.
Do I attack the rim? How do I get others involved? Do I get rebounds? Do I look for others? And that's the growth as a player.
Stiff goes upstairs, gets a bit of contact, goes unwhistled.
To say yes and reward him for how good he's been playing, and we know that John really believes in him. But we also know how good a player Ty Webster is, and that's the payoff.
Career high, David, in that one, that 35 in modest minutes.
He dove it over, created some space between he and Henshall.
And it's all over that one. Sure we'll hear more about it in coming days as Wieskamp was aggressive, doesn't make it go, ball bobbles around. Henshall.
So let's sign you now, and I love that from the club.
Reward for effort. Here's Wieskamp. Found a little bit of space. And once again, we've had a lot of those
juggling
into the baskets.
The players try and get him a good look. Gone to a zone here, so this should be good passing.
And the 2 points will count. Smothered by Melbourne United. And it's back into the hands of Delhi. There, Clark. Here we go. 2 points for him. Slides his way through the key.
The Wildcats into the 30s, and the Jack Jumpers have got to somehow or other get into the 50s. Both of those are looking like a tough assignment based on what we saw in the first half.
And they look inside. Patako ball posting up. Skip pass here. It wouldn't work there. Point the difference. We'll have 4 minutes out from quarter time.
Good pass.
Bolden down low. Pass outside. And
last play in the third quarter. Be careful what you wish for. They've poked the bear a couple of times.
Vasiljevic, had a good look at it, but can't convert. Davis puts it on the deck against Henshall. Overcooked it from close range.
28 in favour of Illawarra. So 13-11 for the Hawks since then. Lee can't make it fit.
Up his sleeve was going to mean anything anyway, unfortunately, at this stage of the game.
Down by 25, having led for the entire first half. Henshall gets the block on Edwards.
90 seconds out from three-quarter time. Wildcats over the limit in terms of fouls. Marshall looking to give Henshall some of his own medicine. Comes up with his first score. He came back to Adelaide, Copes, and played at the Powerhouse, and they let him know all about it.
Oh, you believe that?
Marshall.
Really need to settle down here and get some good looks.
So which team is more composed, Brad?
Well, that's what's going to win it. Right now, I'm going to go with Illawarra if they can get it inside.
Frifan Almansa. BJC zooms past. Lopez, welcome back, Karim Lopez.
Well, it didn't take him long.
Collected the second.
He's not old enough. How old do you need to be to make?
You gotta have some experience to make passes like that, bro. You can't just at 17.
Incredible. So there's so many things that are reflective of that type of performance, but the Wildcats need to take care of the win first and foremost, because the Breakers are going to not give this one to them at all.
For another youngster, there he is, to Coonan, another one. You can see now how short-handed they are, the Brisbane Bullets. There's Bateman.
Good off the backboard. Off the dribble. Tried to go with the fancy finish.
Looks to work on Windler. finds the hot hand in Bateman, who steps back and catches it. Good Lord, 20.
Lewis. Yeah, like unreal being able to make that cross-court pass when he probably could have taken a layup himself. Unselfish basketball.
And you like that matchup because he's a nice tall man and he's quite strong. Sets a big screen. Here's Sobey. Puts it on the floor, steps back, sends it on its way. That misses, a rebound again, so...
Obviously seen a couple go through the basket, but he's moving well. I was curious to see how he would attack the opposition players. He's not shying away from contact whatsoever, which is a great sign for Wildcats fans.
Had Pepper on the back foot. Had a bit of a fumble though, Lewis. He's playing grown man basketball right now. That is a great move against two. He's
White and Clark.
Nice. Nice.
Clark got his man up in the air.
Good execution.
And knocks it down.
He's played under pressure, he's played with expectations, so it's a different environment, but he still plays with the same mindset.
Walker's one, won't go, and there's a rebound, so they've made a bit of a change there.
On the shot clock, 4.3, so plenty of time.
Foxwell. Phoenix miss another swings baseline. Hickey had to go to plan B, which was to do it himself.
Passed it to himself.
And if they are going to switch like that.
Here's Bruce, as we said, when Jalen Adams missed, as Robinson shoots away and a little firm when Jalen Adams missed a couple of weeks.
Remember I told you about Annalie's dad? And the man crush that Lockie's got on it?
Yeah, no, I was a big North Melbourne Giants fan back in the day as Almanza.
Thinking of Bryce at the moment on his way to hospital in Auckland. Mooney got Henshall up in the air, bottom of the net. Here's something, another look at it. This time King inside, scores and one.
A hell of a continue.
Here he is, Craig Sword, knifing his way inside. Barker to dang!
Oh. And they're making a run like that.
Here's Jack White, keen to take on Pinder. Clark as well, great to see him rocking in this competition. Pinder nearly knocked it back in.
When you're talking about one of the greatest of all time.
Lewis in attack mode again. Really impressive stuff from Malik Lewis early.
What's the numbers? I mean, I can... But
20 plus.
I don't want to do that no more. I can go out there and spot up, shoot.
Final series, I meant to say.
But, no, I usually give myself about 2 weeks.
Okay.
I try to. I think I got antsy after about the 10th day, so I gave myself 10 days and then got right back.
Duffelmeyer, as you mentioned earlier, the late call-up into this lineup finds Antonio on the outside. No luck. Now Manzu with another step back in.
Probably could have taken that one.
And great defense there by Henshall. The ref lets it go.
How do I get others involved? Do I get rebounds? Do I look for others? And that's the growth as a player.
Stiff goes upstairs, gets a bit of contact, goes unwhistled.
We know how big a recruit Pepper was for John Rillie in the off-season. He signed a 3-year deal, I want to say. And he's got a close relationship with the...
We'll come back in the fourth quarter.
Let's do it.
We'll come back with our All-Star and Australian starting fives for an All-Star game. Hashtag NBL25.
To Lee shooting the basketball. It might be being a great elite rebounder. You're going to see guys carve out a nice career when they can have one or two skills that they...
Jackson takes it into Harris. Throws it out to the corner. Pasaba fakes it. Mid-range once again. It's good. And we have 10 seconds remaining. One last.
He was thinking about the score before he actually caught the ball.
Donovan over the handoff to Clark.
Oh, my goodness.
Unloads again. Play for a while. Everything going through Ian Clark right now, and he's fouled. Golding got it.
To this man, will look for Golding. The pass to Lee. Golding's hovering. He wants it. He wants the shoots. He couldn't make it go.
For John Rillie at the other end. Melbourne making a little run in this second quarter. Golding with a hand in the face. Henshall did okay.
Finding his teammates.
7 unanswered points in the quarter. Melbourne with another miss this game. Is
down in the hope that the fatigue might have been a factor, but in that game it wasn't. But they were fantastic.
Sobey with a floater.
Making it tough.
Nice little floater there from Nathan Sobey.
Performance. Keanu Pinder, who was the Wildcats' best player early in the game, can continue to sit with those 2 fouls. JR doesn't have to pick and choose whether he risks a third in the first half.
Because they know how to celebrate, don't they?
15 points. Glover, aggressive. Swatted away by Doolittle. Hurt for 3. Davis again controlling the action. Silovich deciding to take it with the finger roll as well. Good attack to the hoop.
Through him. Henshall making both the line off that 12-point game on Friday. To go along with 5 rebounds. Here's Xavier Cook.
And Cooks thought a tap out would ignite the break. Instead, leads to a Windler 3-ball.
Lead 11, the biggest lead of the game. Got his feet under him. Ty Webster did what he had to do, but this team is humming and they have confidence. Malawatch draws the foul as he...
I don't know what the record is for most triple-doubles by a Kiwi.
That's a very niche stat.
I would have shot it personally.
You would have, okay. Well, that's all right.
Whether or not that's the right option, I think it's a whole different thing entirely.
Dellavedova will pick up the crumbs. Nearly ran into a little bit of trouble.
Golding round the screen. He's getting up 36. Have you ever seen an angrier coach right now?
Oh, I think it's in his heart, he's not that angry.
Right. Picking up 36. Have you ever seen an angrier coach right now?
Oh, I think it's in his heart, he's not that angry.
Right. 8% to lead the competition. Bryce had 75, 2 of the best marksmen. And here's Mooney back on the floor and back making things happen. Up to 26.
About getting drove by, but it just wants to protect the rim, but you can't let Bryce that wide open.
Marco Fall got a piece of it. Pro, first year here in Adelaide for Lat May, and this is Humphreys. Shot clock to 10 as he feeds Marshall, taking on Henshall. A couple of young guns going at it there. And Marshall earns a trip to the front.
To slit your throat on the kick out.
Rasmussen gets it from Humphreys. Shot clock to 5 against Henshall. Muscles his way in. He's talked out of the points.
Because he just can't stand here and watch this for the next quarter and a half. Just have a layup drill.
White was able to give them a spark offensively in that first quarter.
Yep, strong. 7-2 center. And how about that? Lights up.
Well, how about that assist? Had the ball gone in.
Necessarily have to come from Bryce scoring, but definitely the ball in his hand, they're better.
Bateman, can he start the second half the way he started the first?
He can consistently, he's only shooting 20% from deep water, but he's not shy taking those shots. Right now he's 50%. As Chris tees one off, no good.
What has to change for Melbourne in this third quarter and in the first 3 or 4 minutes as Golding fires away? What has to be different?
First of all, that man right
told you right from the start of the night that this had all the makings of being a big one. And it has not disappointed. That man now has a 40-piece.
Steindl again steps into it and swishes it away with a foul as well. There's one.
Shoot it because that right there is not a good option. Matt Hurd is outstanding.
Wieskamp drives, got past Henshall. They're getting whatever they want right now.
Nice stroke, though. That's a good miss if there's such a thing.
Harvey, Justin Tatum thought he was fouled. Harvey just played. Gillespie. Hand off to Mooney. That's enough room.
Up by both teams. From the foul line, Clark a little short. Well done, Jack White. Got it back from. Hasn't been a concern at all.
Well, where aren't they going to be?
Yeah, that's right. Who isn't going to score us? Oh, Lee. He said anyone up?
None at all. And like, I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from Melbourne United, but you know how sometimes there's people in your life, you just know what they're going to say to you as soon as they see you next.
Turnage had a massive 2024 season. Narkle for 3, short.
WA talent representing in the NBA.
It drops 4.
Prolific in every right. So you've got to give them credit for coming together and you know, making the game interesting, making it competitive. It's Guerra. All passes. Going to give it to Mr. Turnage. Backs down. Henshall into Nelson with the reverse finish.
Marshall Nelson winning game 1 at this venue. Perth hitting back on Saturday night with an enormous second half comeback. Dellavedova with the opening bucket of the night.
Well, it carries on. He was sensational.
Trying to survive these last 75 seconds.
They need a safe word.
Ian Clark gets the safe word. Good thing.
And now it's the men in red with a 3-point lead. Dellavedova getting into the painted area. Can't score. Lee on the glass. Game 3 with a spot in the championship on the line. Dellavedova gets to work and scores.
Huge. It's the matchup Delhi wants. He's going at the youngster.
Henshall doing his very best to deny Dellavedova, and he does.
First term, United dominance.
Dellavedova's got 7 assists. He's done a great job in spearheading as Golding lets one fly.
He'll set things up now. Doolittle with the job on Golding. Little push off from Delhi. Sends it up. Well done by Shea Ellie. Jack Delhi wants to take on Henshall. We saw he tried to out-muscle him on Thursday. This time decides just to wheel back and shoot for the 3. Good desperation from Lee. 16 points that margin. Ellie again to the hoop. That one blocked.
Hardness, smarting.
Key goes. Passes over the top. Might have been a shot, doesn't matter. United still have the ball. Under pressure. Golding doesn't land it.
Hitting it at 51% from the field across the season.
They'll really be relatively happy with some of the looks they're getting. They've just missed a few and down this end.
Ability on has 8 points in this game.
And that's what you want to do. You want to bring Rob Lowe away from the basket. Perth got these mobile. Look at Shane. Transition.
Dellavedova has 6 points in our first half. All night long, he's been trying to isolate Ben Henshall one-on-one. Henshall starting to work it out.
I'm sure who scored the first points of the game. So Josh King just keeping going with this lineup, and they will get a foul here and go to the line to hopefully stop and get him in some early foul trouble. He's got the one so far. Foxwell, that time shoots away.
Somebody standing there.
And Glover keep this right spark going.
No.
Decides to go long again. That was actually on target. There'll be a rebound and a foul. I used to be compared to Leonard Copeland. That Lockie Road was no Leonard Copeland as Toby will get it flushed in by Hunter. And Sobey and the reaching in from Pinder will be called. I'll just confirm. And on when his team was in all sorts of trouble and he turned things around. Sobey, speedy, couldn't make it go. But he's got the 3 points to his name. Sobey has been terrific. That time just couldn't make the play. Bit of momentum.
21 so far.
2 minutes gone in this first term. Davis was looking to feed it back towards Harrell, but there's no pass on.
Use the envoy anything.
He's got 39. Davis, crossover, sends it up as well. That one too firm. Bryce wants it.
Great. You see him in person doing what he's doing.
Down the other end, Mr. Magic's got a response. No, doesn't go. Mayan underneath, he's fouled. It's the 15th time this season the Wildcats have scored 100 or more points as Davis keeps them in the game somehow. Got through the traffic for the 2. Decides to shoot for 3. Oh, he's got 30. He's got 30.
player that you now recognise in his coaching?
The intensity, the competitiveness, and the love of basketball, those all shine through.
So Phoenix will get it in their front court again. Toby with Henshall trying to stop him. That one was just a little nearly tapped it back in. Four decides to go to Hurt. Good option. Wieskamp receives it from him. Now forced to put it on the floor. Well done. Little ride by on Henshall.
It looked like it was coming off Perth, but that was very quick.
Benair again, winding his way through traffic. Basket doesn't go.
Up to 24 points now.
Sobey, the response, blocked by Windler. Here comes Cotton again.
Likes him, not afraid of the big moment.
First field goal of the night puts Perth up by 4. Edwards right back at you.
It will still be a united ball, much to the angst of the Red Army. That one doesn't go. Lee over the top points. Delly scores! Rest. He would have thought maybe the quarter time break was enough rest for him after his starring role in that first term. DJ throws it up, doesn't go.
I don't think he was
short a lot tonight, which always says that sometimes you're a little tired. It's been a busy week for him as there's a basket scoring and a foul as well.
Here's White.
Unlucky. But that was a great ball screen show by Sam Meninga to get the ball out of Bryce's hands.
Mooney in traffic, double team, needs help. Musser puts it on the deck against Cotton. Red numbers on the shot clock with the 36ers. Looks for some penetration in traffic. Talked out of the points. Gets after the loose ball.
Bryce Cotton gives up the ball. Not only is your job not done, but it only just began.
It probably got worse for you.
It probably has. It really probably has. You're right. As soon as he gives up the ball, you should be worried.
Shot blocked to single numbers as they work it back to Davis, who's fouled by Henshall. Expecting Kendrick to penetrate.
5,000 fans in the sandpit. Sam Froling looking for another double-double this afternoon. His first shot off the mark and the putback.
He is on an island tonight, Derek Rucker. He has already got 13 points.
Whoa. Tyler Harvey left it rim, and he knew it was going in.
Oh, that a drive at the rim.
Darren Armstrong, he picked the dribble up.
I mean, because that's when Bryce goes nuclear, when it's just up and down. But Taron Armstrong is also, as he lets one go. Taron Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Calm down, move the ball, attack the lanes, drive and kick, do everything they did successfully in that first quarter to regain this lead.
In the second quarter, and they've led exclusively after Sunday Ditch scored the first 2 points of the game, and this man Kendrick Davis came up with 10 in the opening quarter. It's NBL where every moment matters as Kendrick Davis lost the handle against Henshall, forced to fire and comes up with the goods. He's up to 26 in the game. Warra against the Hawks. Played 2 minutes in this last quarter, and he elevates for the triple here. Back of the rim wouldn't fall, and Hunter did a good job against Mark.
Harvey's still in with the 3 fouls. And he's got a sub coming. Do you reckon this one's going up, Damo?
Certainly is.
Looks over the bench.
Foul trouble. They need him to stay away from the fouls and do what he does best. And this is the sort of stuff he does. That one a little short. They start boxing out nicely. 1 point the margin. Second place Hawks. Scoring at will. 2 easy.
They're on the roll and everything starts to open up for all the Wildcats as a result.
Jackson Cartwright doing his level best.
Love to see it.
This is his big opportunity. Mitch Norton, who's been terrific since he became a starter in this side.
Keeping the small players out of that matchup with some different language.
Just saw Almanza, another one who represented his country, Spain.
Nice attack along the baseline, foul.
They've been treated to some special three-point scoring in this game. Rocco.
First shot, no good. What game against Indonesia, and if they can pull off the win, they will stay in third place. And we will be following that game as Lish. Nice game for the Youngin Center. As last few possessions of the game here, Lish's shot, no good.
That's right. He wants his team to be more aggressive offensively, and that means to get more actions out of their offense. So keep moving the ball, get second, third.
Luck inside the paint. Can I give credit to Norton there? He is just face guarding. He is not allowing Bryce Cotton. And beautiful move. Far too good and too strong. 20. Guarded closely by Henshall. Looks to work. Gets the double team. Gets out of it. Steps back. Can't get it to fall.
Okay.
That's
very impressive. Dellavedova hits the side of the backboard. He's done Almanza 12 points. Dellavedova thought about it. Fittingly now the ball in the hands of Golding to make a winning play and to seal the game.
Here we go, Doyle with ball in hand again. Season opening. Drives his way through and rattles in another one. He's unstoppable.
Showing, and that pick and pop. They're going to be a little more vulnerable in that area as Nathan Sobey just bullies his way to the bucket.
Now it's plan B for the Hawks. Late clock, Sparkle a bullet. Albrecht
kicks it. Points. He's doing a bit of everything. I was about to praise Bull Qual for that pressure defense, full court. Forced Penny Henshall to go all the way, but it led to a tip back dunk. Yeah. The Wildcats will be happy with it.
Early, because if he gets his head, if he gets downhill like that, he's tough.
8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for Ty Webster. Jackson Cartwright.
Better for him. Now, Bryce has the 5 points, but that was when Shea Ili was off the court, so Ili's doing a great job on him, and Ian Clark continues.
Forward, 12, 13 seasons later, and he himself has now been to 2 Olympics. Quite easily could have been a third.
Yeah, absolutely, as Clark is once again rocking and rolling this.
Felix.
Bradshaw back to Edwards. Gets to the mid-range. Gets that one to fall.
It's a nice pull-up by a man, but defensively that's something that he's going to add to this team, is that ability. It's a nice take by Edwards.
Beautiful take by Edwards, slicing through the lane, place jumping.
We know what it's like to play in Cairns. It's a crazy experience, and I'm sure the crowd are really going to get behind them this season. They need players like that at the Cairns Taipan. Doolittle doesn't need to be that 30-point scorer. I think he absolutely has the capability, and I really love him as a player, his scoring capability.
25, a little under 4 minutes to go here in the second term. Bradshaw finds a gap. A little easier than John really would have hoped.
Second game of the night, earlier tonight. Brisbane defeated Melbourne 111 to 104. Swanko a bullet.
Candy store.
I'll have one of those and one of those.
And one of those. I think Trey Cowell's a great pickup for this group, and they've obviously done a lot of off-season recruiting. He's a big guard, he's long.
Two more for Tyler Harvey.
That's a nice in and out by Tyler.
There's Keanu Pinder. Here is Jackson. Can't get the angle. Here's Bryce.
Perth winning big though on Saturday night at home in front of the Red Army. We'll be watching on from the other side of the country right now.
Same old story. Clark. Out wide, Delhi, fairly confident that one can't go. Basketball.com.au, back to the action here. Delhi, been superb. In the key goes Golding, sending it from a long way. Doesn't make it go. Windler. Cats by 6. Delhi. Golding under pressure. Can't make it go. Shea Ili, little over a minute. Ili wants to take on Doolittle. Trying to clear a path. Oh, swat away from Henshall. Cotton on the break.
Come out and he's not starting this second half with those 3 fouls.
Does that surprise you a little bit?
It does a little bit, but given the way Ian Clark played in that first half with remaining.
Normally dangerous off the lob in this situation. It's as tough gets for Dellavedova. Bowen knocked it back.
Sobey with it. Henshall trying to curb him. The ball movement good. Back into the hands of Sobey. That would have been the perfect start. And the ball confidence. Hurt. Need this. Hunter. Keen to take in the last 3 minutes. Defense and energy from the Phoenix has been terrific. Look at that passing as well.
Oh, Lord!
Hits the 3 and he'll go to the line. Another time ticking away. 5 on the shot clock. Lewis really had to shoot and he didn't mind. He accepted the challenge. In it big time. Davis. Love it when the ball's in his hands. Sunday in the corner. Another swisher. What?
Isaiah harassed by Cotton. He finds Bruce. He can't find the target.
Term.
Good move too by Perth.
Yeah. He'll be signing him up for sure. Under a minute to go. Glover quick to shoot away. It was short. Tap back in. 4 points now. Got out to 12. Foxwell. That doesn't go.
Different look about it because Bryce plays so much. It is a different look when he's not on the floor.
Adnam in the corner. Stripes the triple.
Corner.
Edwards wants to buy into the action. It was great the first quarter, then a little bit quieter here in the second. Kyle Adnam.
Game play. He saw it coming, that cross-court pass.
Holloway no good. Wardenberg, 3. Good played, I should say, in this final term. Rob Edwards has got 19, a team high for the Taipans. Bradshaw in the corner, buries the 3 ball, 4 point. Lockie mentioned in the pre-game, Dylan Windler on the comeback draft from injury. So too Ty Webster, who's a really important part of this Wildcats team, as John Ridley's been very... A tank to cause another upset. In the run home, Groves underneath, outside, Bradshaw, quiet tonight, but he comes up on the shot clock here.
Bag him down. Bag him down, shoot over him.
Size mismatch for Wardenberg, he tosses it away to Adnam.
Shoot the ball, Sam.
Line, plenty to spare. Single figures now, Adnam, corner, ball. Bottom of the
playoffs if you maybe beat them.
It's huge. I mean, you spoke about the numbers earlier between Melbourne and Illawarra. They've had the wood on the Wildcats over the past couple of seasons. Melbourne, whenever they come to Perth,
face to face. Through the legs he goes. DJ shoots away. DJ gets us underway. Nice little 3. They like to get it in this man's hands. Very creative. DJ following from 3. He'll go and get his own rebounds. And there's a foul.
Here's Cook. Really get going. Good ball movement. Prather thought about it. And this time does fire away. Shooting the lights out at the moment here. And they have silenced the crowd that have turned out. Prather, can he get an answer? He does. Been doing it all season long.
And a bid for the Perth Wildcats.
Well, they're getting after it, and Tasmania is kind of going to be the key as Drimmick lets one go early in the offense.
Yeah. And Milton Doyle, sensational in their win over Adelaide on Friday. 22 points to Drimmick. Good ball by Hummer. He lines it up again.
Hope that Perth get nervous.
Drimmick for Doyle. He can't score. Hummer with the offensive rebound.
Perth Wildcats.
Well, they're getting after it, and Tasmania is kind of going to be the key as Drimmick lets one go early in the offense. And I just mentioned the fact
Milton Doyle, sensational in their win over Adelaide on Friday. 22 points to Drimmick. Good ball by Hummer. He lines it up again.
And hope that Perth get nervous.
Drimmick for Doyle. He can't score. Hummer with the offensive read.
The Windler family who welcomed their little one, and this is what happens after you welcome a little one.
Season best is 5 of 8 from deep for Windler. He's got 4 of 5 at the...
All right, Jarrell, you got Bryce on you. Jarrell.
Marshall outside. Kendrick Davis, perhaps the best look he's had tonight. Can't connect, though. Number 3.
Matty, I don't want to offend anybody over the holiday season, so I'm just going to say I love them. They're cheerful.
Tyler Harvey.
He jumped out, he gave it a good...
Don't have the same depth. You're going to slow it down, make it a half-court game, but he's just throwing caution to the wind and saying, if you're open, let that sucker fly, beating him on backdoor cuts.
But Jesse Wagstaff is just so good for Bryce. He's so creative, sets back picks for him as Rob Edwards connects from deep.
38% from 3 on the year. On point with the pull-up.
Wildcats with 4 scorers already. Here's Marshall, and his streak continues.
You fix it, and fix it quick, because he'll put you under straight away.
Davis beats the corner. Marshall ready to go. Skims off the rim. Onto the rebound. Bryce Cotton right now is worth the price of admission alone. If he's coming to a venue near you, get along and check it out. Marshall off the mark. Loose ball comes to...
It is coming a lot from their defense as well.
Lots of hands in there, no fouls, says the referees. And that's a nice long ball.
Former Adelaide captain providing the direction. 18-point ball game. Carlin Davidson in the corner. That stroke looks really good.
He's having a good impact out there, David.
When they're on the tally.
Well, whatever they did in the break has helped him.
Jackson Cartwright outside. No good. Almanza the rebounds. Cartwright. Marshalling the troops outside to Bairstow. Lopez for 3. Now underneath.
Henshall up to 9 points. 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Prater will try his luck. It's strong on that one.
The way they've played these last, really 2 quarters. It's a problem.
Let's get to Arnalee courtside.
I just wanted to talk to your point about being...
On a shot, rebounded by Bowen.
Matchup zone here by Australia. Nice extra pass to find the shooter. That shot no good. They come up with the rebound. Alicia's left open at 3. And boy, did Thailand desperately need...
Guarded closely by Henshall. Norton baseline. Finds Bannon. Bateman wide open in the corner. Finally, the 4-0 from Dylan Windler.
I feel like sometimes he settles for the outside shot when he could get downhill. Oh, Sobe, that's dangerous when he gets...
Cliver, it tells me 2 things. 1, he's feeling confident about his own game, but 2, he knows he's got the green light from his coach. As in Nathan Sober, that one just rims out there. But that's just...
To Hunter. As Emily said, can score. Great passing. Vodanovich has to knock it down. And make it go.
Yeah. That's probably why he's got all the hustle and everything about him, because he knows how valuable it is to him.
Here he goes for 3. Can he do it at both ends? Yes, he can. He can take the ball.
A bit of structure. We're seeing exactly that from the Phoenix right now. Geordie Hunter, great pick and roll. Draws 2, opens up Lewis. He just couldn't drop it down. That's another one that when they...
Maybe tries to get away from him. Foxwell through the key. Lewis in the corner. That one goes.
Magnificent body of his just to get to the rim.
Golden catch and shoot. That's more conventional. That's 7. Angus Glover out there as the starting point guard. It's been a move that has worked for the Phoenix in the last couple of rounds. Malik Lewis, the next star.
Drew, that was a night.
It's just going to hope he misses.
Malik Lewis thought about it. Sobe checks the feed, checks the ball, checks the grip, and knocks it down.
Well, now the Wildcats are 5 of 7 from the 3.
They were 9 of 12 in the first quarter on Friday night. Here's Malik Lewis. Offensive rebound by Hunt. Final term. Sobe fires it out to Malik Lewis. Hand off to Hickey, the 2-man game. Offensive rebound. Back out to Blanchfield. Banked home the last one. Is Hickey crashing the offense?
In his face, a little steal from Withers, but Cam Oliver read it better. Bruce for three, we're right behind it, swish it goes, little look back to the benches.
Or even caught it. That's the confidence we were talking about.
Who's it? As Liava will miss that one.
Get another look at it all shortly. Mooney relocates.
Another corner points is something he probably would look at doing, but if he can get all those layups, he can easily get 20.
He's become the Wildcats' leading scorer. Menenga picked that up off his ankles. Mojave King can't score.
A testament to what they did in the off-season with respectively NBL 1 teams and then NZ NBL. So they both come in and our group overall with our pre.
Opportunity for the Phoenix to really close up here. Hurd kicks it to the corner. Lewis. Three ball rattles out.
Meyer. Taipans need big shots and they need them soon.
Ulbrich trying to face up on Almanza. Kicks out to Blanchfield. The request came from Alice for him to be aggressive. So far,
yes, and reward him for how good he's been playing. And we know that John really, really believes in him. But we also know how good a player Ty Webster is. And
36 points for Ian Clark.
Travel.
A deep breath. Drives. What a moment.
The Harm Ultra Zero Carb, how good for the inside Adelaide.
I just want to talk real quick about the rebound count between the two teams. At the moment, Melbourne United sitting at 20.
This comes from Henshall. Now it's a one-on-one game as Sobey shoots away. Very firm. Windler takes the boards. He's got Henshall to try and stop him. Tough ask. Stands in his way, but he just couldn't stop him. That is incredible. Here's Davis. Jumper on the baseline. This is quality.
The three personal fouls. That fine balance between aggression and sensibility. And this time he draws a foul.
Being very unselfish, willing to give up a good look for a great one.
At 24 the last time he took on Adelaide. He's got 8 in this game early. The basket won't go.
Ian Bannon, 48 points between them. Just not enough support. Are we hopeful to get
further than you?
a touch.
Crawford steps back.
See, that's a poor shot. He shot that
further than you.
a touch.
Crawford steps back.
See, that's a poor shot. He shot that
against Henshall. Likes his chances between the legs to the baseline, takes on Henshall, draws a foul. He's going to the free throw line.
This is Matt Moody.
Shares it across. McCarron dancing, takes them on, draws a foul on Ben Henshall. It's going to be his 4th personal.
Now the fans here do their job. It's up to the players now.
Kendrick Davis starting to warm to the task as well.
In a row of 40 or more. Do not take this for granted. He is taking the NBL to a higher place. He is on 8.
Though 7 in the game now for Henshall with his first score since the opening quarter. Cuts the margin to 6. Last play of the third. Rasmussen in traffic, lost the handle. Cotton. Adelaide are 20 of 26, and Adelaide get to the free throw line more than any other team in the competition. But Perth are on top of them in that category in this game as Davis adds to hit.
also in double figures.
12-4 run in 2 minutes from Perth. There's them back in front. Inside the last 6 minutes from Adelaide. Loose ball. He's a miss
for the 6-time champ. Here's Kell. Fade away. Little short. And a rebound.
He had 17 in that third quarter alone. He needs 15 more to equal the all-time 40-minute record. Meanwhile, Parker Jackson Cartwright at the 51 points. nothing short of remarkable.
A bit up and down, Winler this season, and he's had some injury troubles, but they'll be looking to find some consistency after the FIBA break as Henshall picks up a foul.
Now I appreciate sorts of things.
Might have to rely on some of their veterans, Mitch Norton and Casey Prather. And that is not going to help. It's just the Sydney Kings getting up by 6 points against the Cairns Taipans in Cairns. Taron Armstrong tried his hardest with 28 points, but it was Cam Oliver who was the footlocker.
By Mitch Norton are uncharacteristic of him. He's typically pretty sure with the ball. He's that veteran player that plays that experience. Now he's banked one off the board. I'm happy that.
3 no more. That's a beautiful game.
Perth Wildcats looking to wrestle back momentum going into the fourth quarter. White drives hard, flips it up, and Harrison will put it in.
That only 2 shots they've managed to get up really clean has been a floater. That's 2 contested shots.
And I was curious to see how Benny Henshall would respond with Bryce returning. He hasn't taken it back.
Final 3 minutes. Golding hunting that 9th 3 of the night. These misses aren't missing by a lot.
Prepared to tolerate, and it seems like they're prepared to tolerate a lot of conversation, a lot of opinion from the coaches. So
assists as well. Ben 10 has 10 in the opening quarter. Harvey with a steadying bucket for the Hawks.
Ben don't care. You take the 2, I'll take
to Sydney. Cooks through the legs, into the key, tried to go round the back. Loose ball, Doolittle.
For most of the fourth quarter. Jackson Cartwright, shot clock at 3, blocked by Henshall, making big plays.
It's long between these two teams. Henshall guarding Crawford. 4 on the shot clock. Crawford steps back and connects.
And that's probably the one.
Here comes Milton once more. Gee, you give him so many chances.
Member of Perth royalty. See him often at the Wildcats games. Glover. Hunter again on the follow. And that'll...
The 6th attempt go up, and he's bought into that confidence that it's shown with the performance.
Bit of Boomers action for Ben Henshall, as well as playing with Otago, the Perth outpost in the NZNBL.
14 consecutive points. Some finishing that even Mallow would be proud of. Sobey getting inside is fouled.
And the Wildcats just picking up the defensive pressure a little bit here late in the second term. Good defense there by Henshall. McCoy chases his own shot, can't come up with this. Harris will